St. Louis. Happy Friday for us. Dan looked at me, so I didn't do a long good morning, everyone.
Were you prepared to this morning?
I was totally prepared. I was ready to do it, but Dan was looking, so I didn't need to get his attention with a 1 minute. Did we ever time that out yesterday? Yesterday I set a record for my good morning. Okay, Matthew's going to try to figure it out. Matthew Rocchio is here, Brooke Grimsley, Danny Mac, Randy Carricker. Good to have you with us on a Wednesday that is our Friday. Tomorrow we have Best Of.
Hey.
Well, it's us. We're all doing Best Of with air quotes because, I mean, really, it's a silly morning radio show.
Is it hot takes or is it interviews?
Oh, it's interviews. It's interview. Well, we probably have a hot take or two.
Okay.
Since Hot Take Central's gone, we got to pick up the slack here.
Wow, unnecessary shot.
A shot. That's reality, baby.
It's interviews.
Okay.
It's
We should do just a whole day of hot takes for all the shows.
Yeah, we should. That's a great idea.
Yeah, interviews are like pre-cut already.
So we're staying with the interviews. Who do you have on the interviews? There's some good ones, I would think. We've had a lot of guests.
For over Memorial Day, we didn't pull the trigger on one of my favorite hours of Best
It's
Of,
kind
which
of a weird
is
thing for a city resident.
Jesus Lord Almighty, which is my favorite thing to do, which is to do an hour of our opening day interviews and kind of get some perspective on after a half season.
That.
So we have a full hour of Bill DeWitt III, Bob Costas, and John Mozeliak. That'll be airing on Thursday morning. The one thing that will not be an interview that I will be replaying is after we do the draft today at 7:30, I'm going to make a poll to put out on Twitter. That poll is going to last all the way through the 4th of July, and we're going to replay the draft tomorrow morning in the 9 o'clock hour so that people can, again, come in, listen to the draft, and then vote on it so that, we can all try to beat Brooke for once.
Okay.
Pressure today. Uh-oh.
It's more just like pointing out the fact that she wins every time. And so we got to win this time, guys.
No pressure.
We have to beat her.
Okay, before we get to the Cardinals 7-4 win over the Pirates, quite impressive. Nolan Gorman earns himself July here in St. Louis, by the way. Congratulations to him. So I got a great gift. One of my favorite gifts ever is an orange Stanley Cup. Okay, love it. It's fantastic. Isn't it beautiful?
Not
orange?
not the Stanley Cup.
No, this isn't. Yeah, this is the color of my very first vehicle, kids. I had an orange
blood
Firebird.
orange.
Yeah, it's the Pontiac called it because I had a Pontiac Firebird formula, and it was they called it Carousel Red. So anyway, got this beautiful mug. Love it. And inside said mug is a little sheet of paper in a mug. That says, Stanley, care and use. As if we need to be taught how to use a mug.
Well, maybe you got to figure out how to get the top off.
Yeah, well.
And you got to wash your straws.
Yes.
Brooke, give us the tip on that.
Yeah, you can go on Amazon and there is straw cleaners because it can be tough to do. So I understand why you might need an instruction manual, and some people might find some difficulty with cleaning.
Yeah. And I could see somebody going on to Amazon finding 10 or 12 different kinds of cleaners for a Stanley Cup straw and getting them in their house just to have enough of them.
Yeah. I think it looks very big. I don't know how much that holds.
It's a water. It's a water vessel.
It's a lot of water.
It's a water vessel.
Looks like you're drinking a soda out of there.
It's water. I just got water out of our.
Oh, okay.
We have a great ice machine here at work.
It's a tinted straw, Dan. He's very fancy. And look, you need to get one too, because I also have. I'm a Hydro Flask fan, and so and we have another Stanley.
Oh, there's another
Dan
Stanley?
is the only one without a giant.
Okay, we got to work on it.
I feel like a nerd.
Panera coffee cup.
Is this the best color ever, though?
It's beautiful. It's stunning.
Randy, did you get any speeding tickets in that car?
I was 17 and I was driving an orange Firebird formula. Of course I did.
I just had to ask.
I'd be skipping school, driving down to Dorset. I went to Parkway North, driving down to Dorset and McKelvey. I remember my first ticket was I ran a stop sign. It was a St. Louis rolling stop. I thought it was a thing. And the cop didn't.
Not in the county.
No. So I that was my first ticket. Yeah, but I got 2 or 3 when I was driving that car. It was a nice car. I liked it a lot.
I really like your shirt today.
Thank you. I'm trying to be patriotic all week, Dan.
Very patriotic. You got the flag kind of embedded in the shirt.
Folds of honor. I'm going to be riding in the St. Louis 4th of July parade tomorrow downtown if the weather's good. For Folds of Honor people, keep note of that.
Yeah.
But I will be wearing even more patriotic gear. But I've tried to make that a point this week.
Looks good.
Thank you. I
It
appreciate
really
it.
does.
No problem.
Second
ready.
alert weather. It does look like it will be severe thunderstorms for tomorrow morning.
Oh, second alert weather. Brooke,
Yes.
thank you. Okay. We'll keep that in mind. Keep that in mind. And Brooke's got a birthday coming up this weekend.
Happy birthday, Brooke.
Thank
1, 2, 3.
you.
Happy birthday to you.
Oh, no, we don't have to do this.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, dear Brooke. Happy birthday to you.
And I got a great gift this morning because yesterday, as I told you guys, on Monday, right? On Monday, I grilled for the first time this summer and I didn't have a thermometer. And so I was very worried about overcooking my chicken. And sure enough, guess what my gift was this morning?
What?
A thermometer.
Randy is so thoughtful. I did not chip in for said gift. I didn't know that we were getting gifts.
You could have just like
Don't worry
stuck
about
your
it.
name on there. I would never know.
Yeah.
That would
I'll
have been
count you into
terrible.
it.
But if you are a griller, veteran, and by the way, our buddy Mike Johnson's going to join us at 8:15. He's going to join us in studio from Sugarfire and High Point. But if you're a griller and you want to get the perfect temperature, the Weber iGrill is a game changer. Just the Weber iGrill. So, Brooke, you have literally a game changer. Okay, the Cardinals win 7-4 over the Pirates
Quick
last
question
night.
for you.
Yes, sir.
Do you have a green egg?
No, I don't. I have the Traeger, and then I have a Weber Genesis gas grill.
Isn't there something you can put in that's got a fan that keeps the coals hot? I guess you don't need that for yours, but in a green egg, you ever heard of that?
Yeah. Bernie has a green egg.
Okay.
And I think that is the case, yeah.
All right, just curious. I need to go out and get one of those.
Yeah.
All right.
You have a green egg?
I have a green egg.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah.
Nice. Go for it. Yeah.
I just burn everything.
So Ace Hardware has everything for your grill. Ace is go to any Ace Hardware store. They're awesome.
Okay, I'm in. I'm going to do it this weekend.
Free advertising there.
Yes.
They're great. They're fantastic. Okay, so last night, Nolan Gorman hits a grand slam. Kyle Gibson goes 5 innings, allows 5 hits, 4 runs, 1 walk, 8 Ks, and gets the win as the Cardinals knock off the Pirates in the opener of a 3-game series. 7-4 was the final. Cardinal bullpen was terrific, and King, Fernandez, Romero, Helsley cover 4 innings and just 2 hits allowed as the Cardinals keep the winning going.
31st save for Ryan Helsley. He just continues to dominate. Kyle Gibson sailing through those first 4 innings. We were talking about him bouncing back, especially after that last start, after dealing with those back issues prior. And for him to bounce back in that way,
long
it
do you
was
think he's had
huge.
those?
I was waiting. You see, I paused,
About a
Dan,
week
because
back.
I knew that it was coming. I knew that it was coming.
And
And it was about a week back. Yeah, there you go.
This one might be true.
yeah, it is.
This one,
Yeah.
you know, it's fair. I played with you there because I had a feeling that it would be true. But Nolan Gorman, how huge was that for him to be able to get that to start off July?
Oh, just to get a hit, just to get his bat on the ball. But then to start off July with the bases loaded and hit one out of the ballpark and not strike out, it's a huge deal.
I was looking at his numbers in June. He kind of went into a tailspin last year, too. In his career, he's a 164 hitter with a 536 OPS. All the other months.
In June?
Yes. Outside of June, he's hitting 240 with an 815 OPS. I guess it's just one of those quirky things in baseball. You know, going back to Kyle Gibson, the one thing I love in watching a veteran pitch is that if you have a generous strike zone, the command to be able then to pinpoint an inch or two in, an inch or two outside. He took advantage of that wisely and pitched very well. Kind of hit a wall, had to go to the bullpen, but didn't break enough, so the Cardinals win that game. They're playing great baseball.
They are. He might be the last of that breed that is not a max effort guy that has command and that can utilize his stuff within the strike zone and a couple of inches outside of the strike zone rather than just throwing gas or high spin rate stuff and trying to strike everybody out. Kyle Gibson's a guy that actually pitches, and he thanked us a couple of weeks ago for mentioning that he's a pitch maker. There aren't many pitch makers in baseball anymore.
And once you see it, if you're a veteran, you just take advantage of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so the strike zone's moving, inching a little bit outside. Go ahead. And with his sweeper, started on the outside portion of the plate, get guys to chase, and he was able to do that yesterday.
Hockey, the Blues give Pavel Buchnevich a 6-year, $48 million extension, $8 million a year. That takes him through the 2031-2032 season. A full no-trade clause this year, and in the first 4 years, then a 20-team no-trade clause in year 5, 15-team no-trade clause in year 6 that he probably will not have to worry about because by the time he gets to that point, at 36, there probably won't be many teams that will want to trade for him.
I'm a big fan of the move. I think that this is what we were all expecting to happen, and I'm glad that you lock up a player like Pavel Buchnevich because of what he's able to bring to this team. Last year, he dealt with some injuries, so there was some setbacks there. I think we'll see, obviously, with this contract, a huge season coming for Buchnevich.
Yeah, did anybody think that this wasn't going to happen?
I thought it was. And Tom Stillman told us that the big concern was term. They probably met a little bit in the middle on term because I would have to believe that he asked for 8. The Blues were probably wanting to give 4, and they probably said, okay, well, let's just do 6. And they did, and it wound up being, I think, a good deal. I am intrigued to see whether he winds up being the number 2 center because previously to the stretch run last year, he wasn't a guy that really liked playing center, admittedly, and I didn't think he was that good. But then when he started playing center last year down the stretch, it seems like he started liking it better, and he performed better at the position.
Here's the other thing, too. I think with the moves that the Blues made yesterday, it allows young players to continue to develop. There's pressure that's off them a little.
Yep.
You know, they made a couple other moves I'm sure you're going to mention. But the other thing about Buchnevich, and you talked about it, Randy, at the tail end of that, may not be a lot of takers, but you never know. Maybe there are. Maybe they're at that window when they think that they're going to win, and maybe he's not a part of it. He's a little older at that point in time. You can move him. You know, you're going to have a chance to move them. So it makes a lot of sense with the window that they have and when they anticipate to be a lot better.
Blues did acquire a couple of forwards, Rocc Foxa from Dallas for future considerations and Matthew Joseph from Ottawa for future considerations. They also signed Matthew Joseph's brother, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, a defenseman, as a free agent. So they added a couple of brothers. And to your point, Dan, I always thought Ted Simmons, when he was general manager of the Pirates, had a great idea. He said, I've got all these young kids coming. This was when Bonilla and Bonds were coming up. But I want to protect them.
Yeah.
Or maybe it was when they left. It was when Bonds and Bonilla left and they had a new wave of young players coming. But I want to protect them and to have people that can pick up the slack in case they just aren't ready yet, so that they don't have to play every day and they don't have to have the weight of winning on their shoulders. And I believe you're right. That's what Foxa and the Joseph brothers will do for the Blues, in addition to the other veterans they have. The young players that they have coming along, hey,
Dean, Bolduc, some of the others.
You're down 6-1 in the second period, and it's just not worth it for those guys to be playing. You have the ability to protect those young players.
It adds insurance, and also so the young players don't get overexposed.
Yeah, right. So I like those moves on the part of the Blues. There's a lot of people on social media, I know on JR's, the responses to JR's pieces at The Athletic, that are upset that the Blues aren't contending for a Stanley Cup this year. It wasn't reality. It's not reality. The Blues, again, hopefully will be in the mix for a playoff spot. They're going to be right on the edge again. They're either going to make it or not, but it's going to be by a slim margin. They are not going to be a great team, and this is a building team, and the thing I like best about it is that they are going to give the young players an opportunity to ascend, because this organization for years has not given players the opportunity to ascend. And then you go see Rod Brindamore become a 1,000-game, 1,000-point player elsewhere. You see Doug Gilmour, and I know there were extenuating circumstances when he left, but he goes and turns into a superstar. The Blues have traded so many young players to get veterans in the past in the win now mode. I really like this plan for the Blues.
Yeah, and Fox is a guy that's got a ton of playoff experience so down the stretch. That's beneficial, especially for young players to watch that. Matthew Joseph can play up and down the lineup, too. I was looking at some of the numbers over his career. He's up and down the lineup, and you need that. You need some flexibility. So both guys make sense at this point in time where the Blues are in terms of moving forward.
That's Dan. That's Brooke. Matthew is here. I'm Randy. And coming up, we've got Ask Uncle Randy here on 101 ESPN. It is Wednesday, so you can text in 314-399-9646, 314-399.
Yo-ho!
Yo-ho.
There it is.
Yes,
with
it
your
is.
question for Ask Uncle Randy. Coming up on 101 ESPN.
His infinite well filled with wisdom to find you answers. Text 314-399-9646. It's Ask Uncle Randy on 101 ESPN.
I've been around, you know.
All right, Uncle Randy is here as we are at the 4th of July weekend. You got a family get-together over the 4th of July weekend? You got some consternation that you're worried about? That's why Uncle Randy is here, along with Uncle Dan and Aunt Brooke. We're here to help you out, kids. If you have any problems at all, we're here. We're the cool aunt and uncles, and we are here to answer any questions you might have honestly and with advice you can use. So, Matthew, what do we got there on the text line for Ask Uncle Randy?
An absolute just perfect opener.
Okay, good.
Uncle Randy, my wife's father is 83 and a widower. He recently started dating another woman. My wife is not taking it well. One of the biggest problems is the girlfriend is 66 years old. Personally, I don't know whether to be proud or jealous. She is not taking it well. How do I handle this?
I think that what you have to do is tell your wife that this is his life, this is her father's life, and why should he be deprived of enjoyment at the age of 83? He still has life to live. If he's a widow, then he still has life to live. So I have no problems with the father, and I think this is incumbent upon the wife to understand that her father deserves happiness in his golden years.
Yeah, everybody should be happy, right?
Yeah. Yep.
He's 83. Let him live his life.
Yeah, exactly.
I feel like that's age appropriate.
It is. 83, 66, that's fine.
Well, let's see. 13, 17 years
Doesn't
difference.
make any difference.
Yeah, it's fine.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
like 2 years and dog years. So no, it doesn't. 83 and 66, no big whoop. So I would go to your wife and I would say, hey, let your dad be happy. And then you privately be jealous, by the way. Privately be jealous of him. But yeah, I'm impressed.
It's very
mad.
impressive
I'm
at 83. I just am curious about his bank account.
That shouldn't make any difference. As long as he's happy, that's the thing.
I mean,
right?
okay, it shouldn't, but
Yeah, well, hey, he's not married to the woman yet. He's seeing her. And if he gets married to her, so be it. He's having fun.
I don't think I would want to be alone. Well, this is getting into the weeds and kind of sad this morning, but I wouldn't want to be alone for the rest of my life.
And you wouldn't want one of your parents to be alone either.
Yeah.
See, you're a good person. Come on, wife, pick it up.
there you go. Uncle Randy, I'm having a party at my house tomorrow, and my friends are introducing me to a girl they want to set me up with. How do I balance being a host and getting to know the girl?
I would say if she's your type, focus in completely on her. And just let the party take it. Once everybody's in the house, by tonight, the hay should be in the barn for your party. So food should be ready. Maybe you have some stuff on the grill. But once everybody starts eating, then you're sitting next to her. And she's the focal point. And if your friends, by the way, are setting you up with her, they don't mind her being the focal point of the party for you.
I think that this is his opportunity to shine, honestly. You're hosting the party. You can show how well you host things, and you can balance it still where, yes, you have things grilling. You can show her, look, I can cook, I can grill, I can take care of things. This is an opportunity for him to shine in front of this girl.
Now, I don't know if she knows that she's being set up too, but here's a play for you. Get out today and buy some flowers. And if she is attractive, either you can have them as a centerpiece or you can say, hey, I got these for you.
You're a mess.
No, it's a great.
Wow.
It's a great play.
Thank you very much.
It is.
That's
Had
very
not
impressive.
thought of that one.
Yeah.
So because if she knows she's being set up, say, hey, I got these for you. There you go.
Cultivate mystery. Introduce yourself, talk to her a little bit, then you go over to another part of the room for a little bit, then you come back.
There you go.
Cultivate mystery.
Yeah.
Dear Uncle Randy, I'm getting married in October, and I wanted to know your advice on how I should handle the mother and son dance with my mom as well as my stepmother. You gotta do two.
Do you have to do two?
Depends on how long she's been in the life. I would.
Okay, so Brooke most recently got married.
Yeah.
So, Brooke, take us through the process here.
Through the process of
so
the
how should
father-daughter dance and
David
mother.
handled the mother.
Well, luckily he doesn't have a stepmother, so he did not have to deal with that situation. So it's just him and his mom.
Yeah.
I would say it depends on how long she's been in his life. If she was a part of his upbringing, I could understand that. If he's very close and sees her as another mother figure in his life, then yeah, you have her a part of that whole situation. But other than that, if this is a newer stepmom, then no, kind of like what we were dealing
New and
with
shiny.
earlier.
You got a couple old birds, you take care of both.
Yeah, I'm with you, Danny. I think you do take care of
Old
take care
birds.
Of both. Yep. And if somebody's offended, again, it's your wedding. Now, this tells you about what has happened in St. Louis. Is that from a 314, Matthew, or a 636?
It's actually from a 573.
Okay. So that's still from here, between here and Columbia. It used to be, if
This ought to
you
be good.
were in this general area, you never scheduled a wedding in October. Never. Because the Cardinals were going to be in the playoffs. Right?
I had an October wedding.
You did.
I did.
Wow.
I recall.
Yeah.
It was very nice.
Thank you.
I don't think the Cardinals were in the playoffs, though.
I think they.
What was the date of that, the wedding, though?
03, so they were out of the playoffs.
Yeah, so there you go.
Yeah.
But it is an interesting point.
Didn't that sound right, Randy?
Yeah,
I got
think-
married
yeah.
in 03.
Yeah, that's right. Thanks. So here's my thing, though. People have no qualms about that now because they just aren't convinced that the Cardinals are going to go deep into the playoffs. So it's not a thing anymore. It used to be a thing in St. Louis, but now people say, well, even if they're in the playoffs, they're getting knocked out in the first round. So I'm just intrigued by the fact that this is happening in St. Louis.
I have my charity golf tournament in October.
You do?
And I'm always concerned if they're in the playoffs because then people may go to, especially a home game, they may get out and say, I'm going to the playoff game, which I fully understand. We would just put TVs around and try to make it a watch party.
Yeah, and mine is always in late September during the stretch run, and I always try to get people out early because I know there's good. And normally Monday it's 50-50, right? You never know if there's going to be a game on Monday. But you try to get people out because you know they want to get home to watch the game.
Absolutely. Or they have tickets to a home game.
Right.
That's
yeah.
the other thing.
So we do have a follow-up. The person said, follow up to that, I'm 30 years old and my stepmother has been in my life since I was 14.
There you go. Then you
yeah.
Both get dances with you.
And I think if you're considering it anyways, then that shows that she was an important part of your life.
Exactly. So, yeah, you do that. And if your biological mom gets upset, say, Mom, she's been a part of my life for more than half of my life. So I don't think there's any problem. I don't see any problem at all with that.
Randy, I'm 37 and my golf game has taken a major downturn. Used to be a 5 handicapper, and now I'm more like a 15. What this thing is really, though, is my son is 17 and he's coming into his own on the course. He's hitting monster drives and his short game has really come together. This means he's beating me pretty consistently. I'm pretty proud of him, but I'm struggling with him kicking the snot out of me every game. How do I come to terms with it?
Okay, I can start with this, but then Dan can follow because Dan is in that same situation that you're in right now. But I can say if you've gone from a 5 to a 15, it might not be a bad idea, even though you have confidence in your game because you were a 5 before. Go get a tune-up. Go to a teacher and get a tune-up in your game and see if you can get back to a 5. But sometimes, even if you get to be a 5, you play your kids and it doesn't do you any good at all if you want to beat them.
I think it's great. My kids beat the hell out of me, and I'm proud of them. Now, they're getting to the point where they're beating me so bad they don't want to play with me.
That's not good.
Yeah. Or maybe they just think I'm a geek, which is probably true in both regards, But I think it's great when your kids beat you.
It's great.
Yeah. I got no problem with that.
Yeah, I don't let my kids beat me.
You don't?
Well,
I'm trying my best.
I know you. Yeah.
I'm trying to put them down.
I know you are. Isn't that sad that we're in that situation?
I played great the other day, and it wasn't even close. I was like, well, this is the way it is.
When you have kids that are shooting 3 under, right?
Yeah, they can do that.
Yeah, that's pretty tough.
Yeah, it's not easy, especially when I've gone from a single digit to like what this gentleman has gone to. Yeah, it's not fun.
Yeah, life happens.
It does.
And so, congratulations to the kids. And by the way, if you're 15 right now, nothing wrong with being a 15 handicap. That's pretty darn good.
Yeah.
So keep doing that. I'd give my right arm to be a 15 handicap.
I would give my right arm to do what I saw yesterday, which Jay Delsing played with him from the tips at Norwood. He shoots a 66.
Wow.
Oh.
I mean, it's ridiculous.
Yeah. If you're a right-handed golfer and don't have a right arm, how does that affect your game?
I think left arm would be worse.
I agree.
Yeah.
Okay.
Captain Hook.
Thank you, Matthew.
You got him, Dan.
That is Ask Uncle Randy. We do appreciate it. Coming up, we've got, this is a big day. It's the official opening drive, 4th of July barbecue food draft. I don't know if you guys saw, our show plan has been changed. The original idea for this was to have this done in red, white, and blue. So I had everything, but the highlights have been taken out, so it's not red, white, and blue anymore.
Rockio, why did you do this?
You can't do white highlights on white paper.
Well, it started in red highlights, and then white, and then the bottom was blue.
I didn't realize what you were doing. Sorry about that. The problem is blue is what we use the highlight guess, so it threw my brain off. My OCD was like, I need to get that out of there.
All right. Okay, sounds good.
My bad.
All right, the draft is coming up next, and we're going to try to beat Brooke. She's won a lot lately, so in the food drafts. So we've got the draft coming up next on 101 ESPN.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals open up their series against the Pirates with a 7-4 win yesterday. Kyle Gibson, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. Kyle Gibson will be joining the show also later on today at 9 o'clock. If you can't catch it live, you can always catch it on our Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers podcast on 101ESPN.com. Cardinals will go for Game 2 against the Pirates today. 5:40 first pitch. It'll be Miles Michaelis facing off against the righty for the Pirates, Jared Jones. Jones on the season 5-6, but with a 3.66 ERA. And yesterday, the big news for the Blues: they've signed Pavel Buchnevich to a 6-year, $48 million extension. That is your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
All right. It's time for our official opening drive 4th of July draft. The commissioner of the opening drive food league is Dan McLaughlin.
Oh, yeah.
So he's going to oversee everything that's going on here.
Now, do I get to chime in, too?
You are drafting, too. Yeah, we've got 4 teams drafting. We've already put the order together. We literally drafted numbers out of a hat. I have earned the first selection in this draft. Brooke gets the second pick. Dan gets the third, and Matthew gets the 4th and 5th, and then we do a snake. Here's the way it's going to work. We get 1 entree, 1 side, 1 dessert, and then 1 wild card for each person.
I'm in.
All right.
I'm in. Ding, 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 ding.
Do we have our sound? You have to put me on the clock first, by the way.
You're on the clock.
No. Okay, here we go.
Take me out as commissioner.
Okay.
I just won't
you're
participate.
commissioner. I'll set us up, and then you can do. You can be the assistant commissioner.
Okay.
The assistant.
The 2024 opening drive draft is now underway. Randy Carricker is on the clock. Now we turn it over to Commissioner Dan McLaughlin.
Now what do I do?
And the pick is in.
Oh, the pick is in. Randy?
Randy is going to select with our first selection. We're proud to select barbecued ribs from
I like that.
St. Louis.
Selection number 2, Brooke, of round 1.
I'm sorry. Can I chime in? Being promoted and demoted, like all in like a matter of a minute. So you went from commissioner to assistant commissioner. I will go with cheeseburgers.
Okay, I'm on the clock. Man, I got a great suit for this event, too. I got a top hat.
Finest top hat today, Dan.
So I went with pork steaks.
Oh, well done.
Pulling on the local heartstrings, I see.
Mm-hmm.
Well
Matthew,
done.
you're in. You're on the clock right now.
Yeah, we're going to be talking about it later. It's a heavy hitter. I'm going to go with brisket.
Brisket is a great call.
Gosh,
Yeah.
Oh, my man. Because then you can make the sandwiches. You can just eat it plain. You can put sauce on it. Sometimes you don't need the sauce.
You're
It's
right.
good enough brisket. Yeah. Brisket it's a perfect wild card, and I'm going to roll with it.
At 8:15, I'm going to ask Mike Johnson how to make the perfect brisket, by the way.
He brought in some last time. It was
delicious.
unbelievable
Yeah,
for
fantastic.
Memorial Day.
So
I hope he does that again.
Yeah, Matthew's up again.
Here we go. I'm going to go out of order here. Instead of going with my side in round 2, I'm going to go with my dessert in round 2. Will you allow me to add an add-on onto one thing?
Sure.
Okay. Cookie cake a la mode with a little scoop of ice cream on top of
good.
it. Cookie cake a la mode is my choice for round 2.
What the
Okay.
world is going on here?
All right.
You need a dessert for 4th of July. You need something cool, refreshing.
No, but we had science next.
So round
No,
2.
No,
You can
Brooke,
do it
it
in
says
any
it
order.
on the rundown.
Oh, okay.
Can be drafted in any order in big capital letters.
We
The
just make
rules
up
are
any
right.
rules, huh?
Except
The rules
on the rule
are
sheet.
in black and white. They were supposed to be in blue, but I'm
You know
sorry I
that-
ruined that.
Who loves rules? Rockio.
You're darn right I do.
He typically does.
You're
doesn't
darn
he?
right I do.
Okay, Danny, with your second selection.
Dessert going Randy's carrot cake.
You got it.
Randy brought in carrot cake here today. I've said it many times. Best carrot cake I've ever had. Might be the best carrot cake in the United States. And I'm dead serious. If you went to a competition, I think you'd win.
Wow.
It's
Thanks,
that
Dan.
good. So I'm going Randy's carrot cake, which thank you very much for bringing some in. And I'm going to.
You are welcome.
I put that in the. I put it in the refrigerator, cool it off a little bit. Not like it's hot, but I like it a little cool.
It was in the fridge overnight, so that's good.
It's so good, man. So thank
Glad
you.
like it. You're welcome.
Is this my turn?
This is Brooke's turn.
Okay, well, if everybody's going to do desserts, then fine. I will go with homemade ice cream, which is always a heavy hitter for the 4th of July. Back home, that's what we would do. We would have homemade ice cream, and that was always the staple.
Now, are you gonna have a party? Brooke?
Me?
Oh, is she going to have a party
Yeah.
tomorrow?
I haven't planned one yet.
You know what you
honestly.
do? You bring a food truck in and you bring an ice cream truck. If you have a lot of people, then you don't have to do all the cooking, but you get the ice cream. I'm just saying.
Okay, so you guys have left the side door wide open for me. I get the first selection.
Value on the board.
Yeah, there really is. With my second round selection, and I get back-to-back picks here.
Yes, you do.
I'm going to go with the first side off the board, and I think I'm going to go with pasta salad.
Pasta salad?
Take it and run, sir. I won't
never
fight
had
you. I won't
pasta
fight
salad.
You. I won't fight you.
You've never had pasta salad?
Never had it.
It's delicious. It's great.
Round 3, Randy started off.
You haven't
Okay.
lived.
Round 3, Team Carricker is going with homemade brownies. Homemade brownies for dessert.
I just want to point out that when I picked brownies for either last year's Memorial Day or 4th of July draft, Randy mocked me and saying, yes, because that's what you want when it's super hot out, a very fudgy brownie.
I do. I wasn't mocking. I was telling the truth. I love homemade brownies.
There was a tone to it.
Okay. Sorry about
I just
that.
want to say, a little hypocritical on the pick.
Brooke, with her third round selection, selects.
This is tough. The perfect side could go a lot of different ways
Only
here.
one off the
Potato
board.
salad, chips.
Never had potato salad.
Potato salad's great. That was
Why
my
have you avoided
Yeah.
all these delicious types of salad?
I don't know.
I was coin
best
flipping there.
salads.
And you guys know what my favorite side is, but I didn't go with it today.
Yeah, there you go.
Mac
All
and
right.
cheese.
Well, that was mine.
I didn't take it.
Okay.
And my pick is mac and cheese.
Oh, thanks a lot.
There it is.
I might have been
Had to
fishing.
come off the
I
board next.
might have been fishing a little bit to
Had to
read the
come
room
off
of what
the
everybody
board
wanted.
next. I didn't appreciate the table talk fish, though. Hey,
Sorry, Dan.
it happens.
Table talk.
So I get one wild card in this thing?
Yes, you do.
I'm going to go shrimp from Annie Gunn's.
Oh, good.
Oh, what
Yeah.
the?
Wow.
What the? Oh
Yeah.
my God!
It's so good.
It is really good.
It's
I
the
didn't
best.
I didn't see shrimp coming. That was
Well,
okay. That threw me
It's the
off a little
best,
bit.
yeah.
All right. All right.
It's delicious.
Yeah.
All right, so now Matthew gets back-to-back selections here.
I got brisket. I got cookie cake with a little ice cream on it. I need to go with my side, and I'm gonna go with baked beans.
Great
I'm
call.
gonna go with baked beans on my side. Keep it a little traditional, especially with the brisket. Nothing better.
You get those kind in the can, or do you make them homemade? Like the Bush's baked beans that Peyton Manning is pitching now?
You can do it both. I mean, if you're gonna get the Bush's baked beans, you throw them in the pot, and then you got to do a little extra spice and a little seasoning
I
yourself.
like that choice. I
Oh,
like
yeah.
that a lot.
Thank-
I didn't
thank you
even have
very
it on my big board. I should have had it on my big
There
board.
it is. And also, we're going to open up round 4. And wild card can be whatever I want, right? It,
Right.
doesn't, it,
Anything.
it can be another entree. How do we leave? In my opinion, the best way. I mean, you're even when you're walking out to the car
Don't
after
do it.
you
Don't
finish
do
the
it.
4th of July,
Don't do
you
it.
just grab one more hot dog and you put it in the bun on your way out there. I'm going hot dogs for my
Okay.
wild card.
Okay.
I like that.
I do too.
It's the perfect thing when you're
A
walking
roadie.
out to the car. Maybe a little bit of ketchup. Not you don't have to the roadie. You don't have to
Thank
spice
you.
it up or anything.
Ketchup on hot dogs. See, me and you are.
I'm not Chicago. I'm St.
Thank
Louis.
you.
Get out of here.
Love it.
I have to have ketchup on my hot dog.
You're darn
Thank
right.
you.
There we go.
Brad Thompson is vehemently against the idea
Yeah.
of ketchup on hot dogs. He says you have to be 6 or under to have ketchup on hot dogs.
Nevada elites.
Yeah, they are. Noodle. Okay, so with Dan's 4th round selection.
Side. What is it?
Loaded baked potato.
Oh, nicely done. I was wondering who was going to get some potatoes in here and how they were what form they were going to be. in.
Yeah.
What form they were going to be.
Well, because you mentioned chips. I'm partial to the cheesy potato casserole.
I had on my big board tots.
Oh, tots. Loaded tots.
Oh, you
That's
love
the way
your
to do
tots.
it.
You know, tots, and at Whole Foods, you can get sweet potato tots, and they're delicious.
There it is. Brooke.
Really?
Yeah, they're
You got the
great.
whole wide world.
Air
in front of
fryer.
Yeah.
you. Whole wide world in front of you, Brooke.
Okay, do I go with the side or do I go with another meat?
You got to go with the side.
I have to.
Oh, no. You got
No,
the
it's
wild
not.
you got the wild
Side.
card. Yeah, you got the whole wide world in front of you. I already said
Okay.
that.
I hate it because in general, I would typically have chips, but I feel like that's not enough to really push me over the edge here. So I will go with chicken wings.
Nice pick.
Yep.
Nice pick, Brooke.
Whew.
That's a good pick.
I don't think I did as well this.
It was between
this
hot
time.
dogs and chicken wings for me. Good job.
Yeah,
Good pick.
I was one of the hot
All right, Randy.
dogs.
Okay, so
Mr. Irrelevant.
first of all, Dan, you did you took my dessert, which I'm very proud of you, and I'm
Thank you.
thankful for that.
Yeah.
You took Randy's dessert. I'm going to go American here. You see, if you're on the YouTube, our Airlines Team Studio Cam on YouTube, just go to youtube.com, search 101 ESPN STL. I'm wearing a patriotic shirt, as I have on Monday and Tuesday. What is more patriotic? What is more 4th of July than the brat? I'm going with the brat, a second protein to complete my squad today.
A brat?
Yep.
That's good.
I have something controversial to say.
Fantastic draft, Brandon.
I'm not a big fan of brats.
Oh, you're missing out.
I have had them
Okay.
for sure.
Okay, so you just don't
But
like.
it's just not a
Brave to
fan.
say it. Brave to say it.
I feel brave.
You know, I like
right now.
I like most proteins except for liver. I hate liver, but brats, dogs, burgers, steak, pork chop, chicken, fish. I like pretty much all proteins except for liver.
You ever had brains?
No, I never. Well, clearly, I have not.
Well, have you, Dan? Mister hasn't had a potato salad, but somehow has had brains.
No, I've never touched that. There was a place, though, in Afton. I bet Rocc may remember this place, or it closed, so you may have been a young man when it closed, or a young kid. But it said home of the fried brains or something like that.
Whitey used to
What?
eat brain sausage sandwiches.
Yeah. I mean, people would eat that stuff.
Yeah, no, and tongue. I would never I would never venture out for tongue.
No.
What about caribou tongue? You could put that thing and boil it. I watched that on Life Below Zero.
Yeah, never
They have caribou tongue.
Here are the 4 squads, and we'll put this up on the Twitter machine, and we need your votes. But I have gone with ribs and brats, along with pasta salad and homemade brownies. That's my menu. Brooks' menu, cheeseburgers, wings, mac and cheese, homemade ice cream. Danny Mac goes with, this is a great one, pork steaks. I think we're going to start with that shrimp from Annie Gunn's. Then
that's so good.
pork steaks, a loaded baked potato, and my carrot cake. And then Matthew goes with brisket and a dog for the road, along with baked beans and cookie cake a la mode. So those are your draft choices today.
Somebody said I have the dessert taste of a 6-year-old.
Nothing wrong.
By the way,
no.
Isn't that the one? That's the one part of dinner you should have like the taste of a 6-year-old
Totally.
for. It's dessert.
Yeah.
What do you want from me? I'm sorry. You're right, Randy. Can I please get like a can I get like a frozen peach
Creme brulee.
Yeah, with like a sturdy whipped cream on it.
Yep. Okay. Who in this room has ever had like a pan of homemade brownies, like on a special day like the 4th of July, and then you keep going back again and again and again to get another one?
My daughter
yeah.
had a friend over the other day, and they decided to bake. They love to bake, and I was shocked. She's not listening, I know, but I was shocked at how good they were. I wouldn't say that to her face, and sometimes, I don't know if you ever dealt with this, Randy, with your kids, if they decided to make something. Oh, yeah, it's great. And then you go in the other room and cough it up.
Yeah.
So I was very proud of her brownies. They were
job.
excellent.
Both of my kids are excellent cooks, but when they were in summer school in like 1st, 2nd grade, yeah, they would turn out some stuff that wasn't absolutely delicious.
But you would still eat it. I remember
still eat it.
I had an easy bake oven. Did your kids have easy bake
Oh, yeah.
ovens? And I thought that I was really cooking up some good stuff back then, and I forced my entire family to eat it. And then looking back at that memory, I'm like, I don't think they were actually eating it. Were you guys actually eating the easy bake oven stuff
I
from your
was.
kids?
And I was saying, this is really good. I was.
I was just told about the Brains place. It was Bob and Tom's back door.
Oh, okay.
That's what it was. Yeah. And it was right in the center of Afton.
What kind of brains were there?
I don't know.
I think cow brains.
Yeah, it'd have to. I think it was.
Yeah.
It
What
was.
about mad cow disease? That was a thing that happened.
Yeah, it was. Maybe that's why the place is closed.
It may be still open. I don't know.
I don't know.
Okay,
But thanks for
we'll
the tip and
investigate
thanks for
this.
listening. And you can use the text line 314-399-9646, 314-399-YO-HO for Take It or Leave It, which is coming up next here on the opening drive on 101 ESPN. right, kids, it's time for Take It or Leave It here on 101 ESPN. Brooke, Dan, Matthew, and Randy, great to have you with us. And it's time for Take It or Leave It. Okay, yesterday, the Los Angeles Lakers introduced Bronny James, their second-round pick. And he thanked Rob Pelinka and J.J. Redick for everything they have given to him after drafting him number 55 last week. And Rob Pelinka and J.J. Redick took to the microphone, and Redick said, Rob and I didn't give Bronny anything. Take it or leave it. Really?
I'm going to take the really portion of that and leave that, yes, LeBron did have a hand in this. It's all very clear the reason why Bronny is in LA, and we discussed that. That's fine. It will be a very cool moment to see Bronny and LeBron when they do play together eventually. But I think dismissing that there's no nepotism here is another part that you can't deny that, right?
I don't think we're saying that he's not a prospect. I think he would have been a prospect for the NBA, and maybe you sign him, you take him to the G League and let him get his feet wet there, and probably plays a year and a half, year two down there. But to sit there and say that there was no nepotism with this is ridiculous. And everybody in the NBA knew it, and they knew it for weeks that he'd be going to the LA Lakers, and I think it's great. I love it.
The leading... Well, there goes the
not the Stanley Cup.
We're throwing stuff around. Yeah,
not the new Stanley Cup.
I'm moving it over here so it doesn't get tossed around anymore.
In the booklet, did it have that in there too about the care and usage?
Nice, Brooke.
The leading scorer for USC last year was a guy named Boogie Ellis. Had more points per game, more rebounds per game, more assists per game than Bronny James did. And I don't believe that Boogie, as a senior, got drafted in the NBA draft.
Well, maybe the upside is higher with Bronny. And he had the heart issue, too.
And he's got the dad.
And he's got a dad. That is one of the best players ever.
Yeah, there is that. So, take it or leave it, guys. Players should be able to wear their team's uniform. Sorry, Randy's trying to gather all of his things he knocked off. Players should be able to wear their team's uniforms in the All-Star game. And better yet, I want to see if they can do their favorite team uniform that they wear during the course of the year. Take it or leave it.
Oh, okay. So, like, the Cardinals could wear blue, cream.
Yeah, even their city connects.
I love that idea, Brooke, and I'm going to take it 100%. And by the way, I think it's stupid that players are wearing like their ridiculous league uniforms in the All-Star game. I think they should totally wear their own uniforms.
I think we all understand why they do it. It's another sellable aspect for the league. But I loved it when you'd see the different uniform. I'm with you. One would be home uniforms. One's the away uniforms. They're all different. I used to like it when they wear the white spikes, too. Remember, that was kind of an all-star game thing, too. I kind of like that.
Yeah.
Does anybody ever buy the all-star jerseys is my question. Or, the shirts, anything. I don't think I've ever seen anybody with that.
They've gotten uglier and uglier as the years have gone by. And to your point, Brooke, the home team, wear whatever jersey you want, and then white pants. So, for example, if you're a Cardinal player and you want to wear the powder blue, it's still, if you're the home National League team, you wear white pants. And then the road team can wear gray pants.
Yep. All right, take it or leave it. Randy will pound a full platter of his carrot cake in a 24-hour period.
Leave it.
I'm taking that and taking it to the bank.
I'm incapable of that now, Dan.
I agree. Your carrot cake is rich, but I think you can pull it off.
Wow. Okay. I still have to leave it. What do you guys think?
I did. You gave me 2 Christmases ago. You gave it to me. I pounded it in a 24-hour period.
Proud of you.
May have put on 7 pounds, 8 pounds, but it was worth it.
Yeah. Anybody else in the room going to do it? Are you going to try?
I will savor it. I'm going to savor it.
Okay.
And I'll share.
Okay. Matthew, what are you going to do? You going to share?
Yeah, I'll share.
Okay, good.
I'm not.
I'm not.
Sorry, man. Sorry,
Dan's
kids.
My
going
man.
to hide it.
No way.
Well,
I'm not doing that. That thing's too good.
Breaking news, LeBron James has signed a 2-year, $104 million max deal to return to the Lakers.
That's shocking.
$52 million a year.
Yeah, I never saw that coming.
No, me either. All right, Matthew, what do you got on the text line there?
I never saw that coming. Take it or leave. They need to do the Helsley entrance when he comes into the All-Star game.
Take it. Yeah, with the red and Hell's Bells.
Oh,
in Texas, they'll have the red in Texas and
I'll take
have
that.
the roof closed at night. It'll be great.
I'm going to leave it. It's not an individual fascination that we have with all these different It's all about the team. It's all about watching the American League and the National League taking this to their full potential, and it means so much to the players whether they win or lose. No, actually, I'm going to leave it. But go ahead and bring out the Hell's Bells.
You know, I don't know. I've never paid attention. Do players use their own walk-up music at the All-Star game?
I have no idea. I think they may.
Okay.
Actually, when I reflect on that, I think they do. Do you remember when Bob Shepard introduced Derek Jeter?
Yes. Well, it was after Bob Shepard was dead.
Right. They had him recorded, and he would introduce Derek Jeter every time.
You guys want to, when I'm dead, do you guys want to have that Good Morning recorded?
Not really.
No.
Okay.
No. To play that at your funeral?
No, for every morning.
Every morning?
Question that at his
I was thinking, I was like, do you want this at your funeral?
Oh, my God. At my funeral.
I will always remember when Randy would wish us good morning and then play it. You're telling me that wouldn't be great at the funeral.
That would be awesome at your funeral.
Yeah. Oh, that would be funny. Okay.
It would be funny.
You guys can do
Okay,
it.
you
guys
like
can
the
do it.
idea now.
We started with a closed casket. Bam! It pops open.
I'm not going to have a
No.
casket. You can just put me in the oven.
There you go. Take it or leave it. The Blues. I'm pushing through. Take it or leave it. The Blues never gave future considerations a real shot to make the team, and trading him will come back to haunt them.
Take it. Some of my favorite sports team posts on social media are when they thank future considerations.
I will always remember them for their potential.
Yeah, you could always say that this is going to be a tough outing for TBA.
Yeah.
Same thing.
It is.
Right.
Same thing.
Yeah. By the way, congratulations to Joe Buck, who went into the National Sports Media Hall of Fame last night. Pretty good.
Oh, awesome.
Yep.
Joe's phenomenal.
He's really good at what he does.
And he talks about some of the heat that he takes. It's ridiculous. He's one of the best that's ever done it. He is.
He is.
No doubt about it.
Yeah.
So well deserved.
This is a very niche one, but I like it. Take it or leave it. If the pitchers would just stop throwing low and into lefties and throwing the same pitch over and over again, the Cardinals would be much better off.
I'll take it. 100% take it. Yeah, because what do lefties do? They hit low and in pitches out of the ballpark.
Down and in.
Yeah, so no more down and in from the Cardinal pitchers to lefty hitters.
Spread
And I
the
think
word.
every pitcher's trying to avoid that, too. It's just one of those things with lefties. It's so weird, but down and in to a lefty, stay away from it.
Still gets BT mad when somebody yells, "Throw a strike!"
Yeah.
Like
I'm not trying to. Yeah.
Take it or leave it. The All-Star game was forever altered when you started interleague play.
take it.
I would take that, too.
I'll take that.
Yeah, it's a shame.
I hated this one matters, or this one counts.
See, I didn't care about it but prior to that,
But the players didn't care. And what if you had Game 7 of the World Series decided by the All-Star game?
prior to that, though, what they're doing now is the way it should have been done all along. But prior to this one matters and the All-Star game winner being the home team, it rotated every year. So the Cardinals had the best record in the league in, for example, 1985. They had 101 wins. And they were the road team against an 85-win Royals team.
Right.
So it
So
was
maybe make incentive for finishing top in the league.
Yeah, the Cardinals had more wins than the Twins in 1987. Should have had home field. But because it was an odd year, the Cardinals weren't the home team.
Right.
So what's the difference between winning the All-Star game or having odd versus even? It's still random.
Yeah, it is random, for sure.
Now I like having it with the team with the most wins. Now all we need is a reasonable schedule.
Shouts to the dumb rule in the 2011 World Series, though.
Yeah.
Take it or leave it. Instead of the oven, put Randy in the Traeger and make a Carricker cake.
Oh.
Carricker cake. Get it?
Just sprinkle a little Randy on top.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
I'd eat it.
No,
You gotta
where
get-
are we going with this? You would eat
Randy
it.
brownies. I'd eat it, yeah.
You got to get the biggest Traeger, though.
Dan, okay, real quick. Dan said he would eat it,
Yeah, I'd sprinkle a little Randy on top of that thing. Why not?
but hasn't had a potato salad or pasta salad, but is definitely on board with having a Randy Carricker carrot cake.
Called brotherhood.
This is a legitimate observation on your point.
I have questions.
Just a little sprinkle, not a lot.
You've never had pasta salad?
No.
Pasta salad is delicious.
It is.
So it's got pasta and what else?
Not missing anything.
Well, you can have, like you can put ranch or you can
Onions, celery.
put mayo, grapes, cubed cheese, chicken.
The possibilities are endless, honestly,
Okay.
Dan.
Have you ever been to Chicken Salad Chick over here?
No.
Go to Chicken Salad
What?
Chick and have one of their chicken salad sandwiches.
I didn't even know it was around.
Get the Fancy Nancy on a croissant and get their pasta salad.
Never had it.
And Matthew, by the way, said you aren't missing anything, which is completely erroneous
It is.
because
You're
pasta
good.
salad's good.
Just keep
Thank
the
you,
pasta and
Matthew.
use it correctly, like in a bowl with sauce and not cubed cheese and grapes. What the hell are we doing here?
Thank you,
The
Matthew.
hell are we doing?
We're having great food. Great food. Okay, I'm going to bring you guys some pasta salad.
Oh, don't make
I'm
me
gonna-
And
that.
potato salad.
Potato salad's awesome too. I like potato. Dan is. You don't like the idea of potato salad either, huh?
Well, I never had a tomato. I love, on pasta, I love the sauce, but I've never had it like tomato on my burger or anything like that.
Wow.
Yeah.
What?
You know, Al Michaels doesn't eat vegetables at all.
Really?
You've
Yeah,
ever had a
he-
tomato on your burgers that you
No.
just said? Onions?
No.
A pickle?
No.
What do you put in your burger?
What the
PBJ.
hell is going on here?
Cheese.
That's it?
Yeah.
Ketchup?
A little bit of ketchup.
Okay.
I can't, but more times than not, it's just with cheese.
That's it?
Yeah.
Have you ever like diced up an onion and put it and sprinkled it on a hot dog or a brat?
Never.
You don't like onions?
Relish?
Not really.
Oh my God, you're like my roommate.
Never had
My
relish.
former roommate.
Wow.
Yeah, there's
I'm
a
learning
bunch.
so much about Dan this
You don't eat
morning.
pickles?
I'm excited.
314 says Dan is 6 years old. You're probably right about that.
Do you like your chicken nuggies?
Love those. Love those in my mac and cheese.
All right. By the way, they have all kinds of great pasta salad at Burger Rehab Therapy. But you need to know about this burger, Matthew or Danny. It's down in Scottsdale, Arizona. It's called Rehab Burger Therapy, and they've got a PBJ and bacon burger. It's
PBJ?
Yep, peanut butter, grape jelly, bacon, and sriracha sauce on a burger. It's great.
It does sound kind of good, but it also sounds a little disgusting. A little bit of both.
You think when you hear it, yes, but actually no. So there you have it. That's Take It or Leave It on 101 ESPN. Coming up, how important is the legacy of staying with one team throughout an athlete's career? We're going to talk about that next. And then our buddy Mike Johnson from Sugarfire and from High Point will join us to talk a little pre-4th of July barbecuing on 101 ESPN. Hey, today is a great day to head on over to the Fenton Bar and Grill on Rudder Road in Fenton. Easy to get to. If you're at the soccer park, you're just 2 minutes away. All you need to do is follow Rudder Road to Fenton Bar and Grill on the right. Stop by and say hi to Megan and Kelly and Casey and the whole gang there. Will be very friendly to you, and they will serve you the best food in St. Louis, the best trashed wings that you will ever have. Order the trashed wings with their signature golden sauce or some ranch, and you will love it, and you'll keep coming back again and again and again at the Fenton Bar and Grill, where the clientele is so much fun. It's a group of people that like sports, and they're going to have sports up on the screens on all of the TVs. You'll be talking ball, you'll be talking soccer, you'll be talking blues moves with people at the bar or people that are at the restaurant, and tell them Randy sent you, and they're gonna really take care of you, I promise. And not just because you tell them Randy sent you, but because they take care of everybody. They've got fantastic wraps and burgers and salads. It's a great place to go for lunch, maybe after you're done playing golf or for a happy hour or dinner tonight. Whenever you're looking for a great meal, especially over the course of this 4th of July weekend, stop by the Fenton Bar and Grill. Learn more at fentonbarandgrill.com. And when you stop by, tell them Randy sent you. .810 in St. Louis, your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. We got a busy rest of the show coming up. Our buddy Mike Johnson of Sugarfire will join us coming up in the next segment. And then in the 9 o'clock hour, Kyle Gibson, a big league impact at 9. Then it'll be former MLS midfielder Sacha Kljestan. Sacha Kljestan?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, good. He'll join us. And then Jeremy Rutherford will join us at 9:30. So a busy 9 o'clock hour here on the opening drive. Guys, we've seen players move around that have been with the team for a long time and really made their name with the team. The most recent of those being Klay Thompson, who was with the Golden State Warriors and moved to the Dallas Mavericks. And we were talking about this in the office yesterday, the effect that it can have, not as guaranteed to have, but the effect that it can have on somebody's career legacy when they switch teams at the end of a career. I don't think there's any doubt that here in St. Louis, Alex Pietrangelo is looked at differently than if he would have stayed. Not in a lesser manner, but when you stay with one team forever, you become legendary. And there's a reason that if you make the choice to leave, it's really difficult, I think, to have the sort of legacy where, like Stan Musial had, where he just played for one team.
You really don't see those legacies as much anymore. With Klay Thompson, as you brought up, that's the most recent example. 13 seasons with the Golden State Warriors, 4 championships that he was able to accomplish there. You even have another example of Aaron Rodgers, where he was with the Packers for his entire career, and then, of course, moved on to the Jets. Now, that was a situation where you brought in a newer quarterback. He saw that his time was coming to an end, so he left on his own terms, essentially. But it was not that pretty of an exit. Wouldn't you say, with Aaron Rodgers and the Packers? I don't think it was a very pretty exit there, because it seemed like he did not like the ushering in of the new quarterback, which was happening. You really don't see the legacy players as much anymore. One, there's 2 factors. You have players who think that the grass is greener on the other side, but you also have the business side. When you brought up Alex Pietrangelo, I think that was all very publicly covered, where Alex wanted to stay here, but there was a lot that was going on with the terms of that deal, and it was a no-trade clause, right? That was a big factor in that.
Clause,
no movement clause. That was a big factor in that.
Now, to that quick point, Dan, I just want to make this point, that part of Alex Pietrangelo's legacy now will be being the first person in Blues history to lift the cup, and being part of Vegas's, maybe the most important part, the most important edition of Vegas's first Stanley Cup championship, too.
100%. I think it's more about the fans wanting players to stay, and they think about the legacy. I don't think players care. Majority of players, probably 9 out of 10, don't care, because their shelf life to be a professional and earn this kind of money is really short relative to their life. I mean, so you go out and get the most money you can, and agents being a part of this in the free agency the way it is in professional sports, you're just not going to see players stick around for their entire career. But the lesser players, not the Petrangelos, but the lesser players, if they stay a full career, they are beloved in the cities that they stay in. And they may not be great players, but the fact that they stayed and played, say, 8 to 10 years in that organization and for that city, and, you know, let's say they're well-liked, man, that legacy means a lot to them and a lot to the fan base.
Yadier Molina, for example.
Great call.
Adam Wainwright. I know that he was originally with the Braves, but still his career
Never
entirety
played
was
a major
with
league
the
game
Cardinals.
with the Braves, though,
exactly.
right.
And so I think of another player, too, with the Cardinals, Albert Pujols. Now, of course, you guys were here for when he left St. Louis and went to the Angels. What was that like? And did that affect his legacy? Were there talks about that at the time?
At the time, it was because of the way he left. And he said, why would you want to leave for $3 million more a year? And then he left for exactly $3 million more a year. But you know what, Brooke? I think actually his legacy was enhanced because I think with the advent of social media, with Albert's advancing age and the fact that he really couldn't play first base anymore, I think he would have been vilified on social media here, performing the way he did in his last 2 or 3 years with the Angels.
I don't. I really don't.
You think that he would have been a protected species?
Protected species here, only here. If he would have gone other places, it could have gotten nasty. But I think here, with the body of work that he put together, and we forget, a lot of people forget, his first handful of years with the Angels were very good.
Most of them were really good, yeah.
So you still would have had pretty good years here in St. Louis. And then you just say, well, we knew the back end of the contract was going to be iffy at best, and we'll live with it just because he gave us a decade and a half of just pure excellence playing first base for the Cardinals.
By the way, a couple of others. I hope Steph Curry spends his entire career with the Warriors. I think that's important. But I think Tom Brady's legacy was actually enhanced getting away from Belichick and winning without Belichick.
Oh, 100%. I think that it changed everything because the conversation was it's always Belichick and Tom Brady. That's the package deal. But with Tom Brady exiting, you could see, all right, he can still win a championship without Bill Belichick. And he was able to prove that. And now look at Bill Belichick's legacy and how that's affected.
And he won. That to me is the main thing with Brady. If he didn't win, I don't think we look at it the same. But the fact that he left that situation in New England and he had so much winning, it was so incredible, but then takes it to Tampa Bay and wins again. How does that not enhance his legacy of what he means to the NFL?
And one other quick note here. We have less than a minute left. But there's a reason that Stan is the man in St. Louis.
Stayed here,
right,
and was beloved because of what he did in the city too, and what he meant to young fans. And those young fans became grown-ups, and they remember going to the ballpark and then maybe got an autograph. If you went up to Stan anywhere in town, he had cards in his pocket that were signed and would just hand those out.
Yeah, right.
You know, that's incredible. There's just not many people that do those kind of things.
But back in that time, too, the players would live in the city for the entirety of the year. You really don't have that as much anymore.
One time I went in the late 90s, towards the end of his career, I went to Tony Gwynn, and I said, with all the rumors of you, because he loved St. Louis, I said, with all those rumors of you coming here over the years, why did you not wind up in St. Louis? And he paused, and he said, man, I'm a Padre.
Yeah.
He was just a Padre from San Diego, right? Went to San Diego State. He was just a Padre. And that's the way he looked at himself. Dan, Brooke, Randy. Coming up, Mike Johnson is here from Sugarfire and from also High Point Drive-In. And we're going to talk a little bit about 4th of July barbecuing next on 101 ESPN.
It's time for a DraftKings at Casino Queen Redbird report on 101 ESPN.
Brooke Grimsley here for your Redbird report. The Cardinals overpowering the Pirates in the series opener last night, beating them 7-4. Alec Burleson put the Cardinals ahead 2-0 in the third inning with a 2-run shot for his 13th homer of the season. And in the top of the fourth, Nolan Gorman added to the Cardinals' lead, hitting his second career grand slam. Kyle Gibson gave up 4 runs all in the 5th inning and 5 hits in 5 innings of work, striking out 8 and walking just 1. Ryan Helsley struck out 1 in a perfect 9th inning, earning his major league leading 31st consecutive consecutive save. The Cardinals and Pirates are back in action tonight with Miles Michaelis getting the start. First pitch is at 5:40.
The Redbird Report is presented by DraftKings at Casino Queen. Play, stay, dine at DraftKings at Casino Queen.
Randy Carricker, and the 4th of July is tomorrow, one of the biggest barbecuing weekends of the entire year. And our friend Mike Johnson from Sugarfire and from High Point and from Hot Pizza Cold Beer joins us. We like to have Mike in before the summer holidays, and we always appreciate your time. Good to see you.
Hey, thanks for having me.
And I'm dressed patriotically today, so
I liked it. I know.
American,
I saw
man.
it. Yeah, it looks good. I saw the debate the other day. I was so excited about America. I thought it went so well for everybody, and I was just got jacked up, and I've been wearing this outfit ever since.
There you go. By the way,
no politics on this show.
I'm not saying it either way. It's making a joke.
Mike does have the Apollo Creed shorts going today, which I really like. So,
yeah, these are the Apollo Creed ones.
Yeah, they're fantastic. It's great. Yeah. All right, I want to start with this because I have never done what I considered a great brisket. You brought some brisket in. The Sugarfire brisket, by the way, if you've never had it, is the best in town. What's the key for me on the Traeger to make a great brisket?
I think you just start with a really good piece of meat. You start with some really good brisket. And then I like to season just salt, pepper, and garlic.
Pretty simple,
on
huh?
brisket. Yeah, pretty simple. And just take your time and let it go as long as you can.
What temperature would you go
I
at?
like 250 on brisket.
Okay.
And to try and go, 12, 14 hours. And I don't pull it until it comes to 202, 204 is when the internal temperature of the meat is on a brisket is best.
I'll do that. Okay,
Yeah.
good. So my key was the seasoning and salt, pepper, garlic.
Salt, pepper, and garlic I think is the best.
Okay.
Yep.
Good. We'll do it.
So I grilled for the first time this summer, this past weekend, and it was a little nerve-wracking. Luckily, Randy and Dan and Rocchio gifted me this morning a proper iGrill.
I love those.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so, but if you're like a situation like me, in a situation like how I was this weekend, where you don't have one of these lovely iGrills, what do I do about checking the temperature on my meat?
All you can really do is what I call a bend test. You just kind of bend stuff. It can be ribs or brisket, and you pick it up, and you want to feel this moist and floppy a little bit. Ribs you can pull back, and if they start to tear off a little bit. I'm making hand gestures like everyone can see me.
Oh, but they can see you on the YouTube.
Can you guys see me?
Yeah.
Somebody's watching?
Yeah.
I just kind of do a bend test on it, or pick up the brisket kind of and see if, it should be flopping a little bit.
Okay.
What's busiest time of year? Is it Memorial Day? Is it 4th of July, Labor Day?
The
What do
best
you got?
part about barbecue is I used to have fancier restaurants, and these holidays were terrible, but Father's Day, Mother's Day, 4th of July, Memorial Day, every holiday is like the best day ever in barbecue. People are always getting food, so they're all. I can't even put one above the other. They're all incredible.
One of the things
Thanksgiving, Christmas, all of them.
Thanksgiving too.
Oh, we're killing it. Yeah.
What about, so do you guys do turkey?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. We'll sell like 1,000 turkeys.
Oh, wow. I didn't know that. Okay.
And by the way, the turkey at Sugarfire is fantastic. Well, what about turkey on the grill? Is there a key? Because you guys have really juicy turkey there. What's the key there for you?
I do it. I like it two different ways. One way is I like to take a whole turkey and just just keep smoking it until it's fall apart tender. And then I like to shred it. A lot of people don't shred turkey; they slice turkey. But for home, I like to take a whole turkey because you can mix in the breast and the leg, and it's real juicy. And then I'll even mix in a little turkey broth and a little sauce, and then you've got this beautiful shredded turkey. Or if you're trying to be healthier, I just do the breast. But the breast is really just you got to do a little brine. And so I just do I think it's a gallon of water, a cup of sugar, and a cup of salt, and boil it, cool it off, and then you just let the turkey breast sit in there for a day, and then you're good to go.
That makes a big difference. Brining makes a big difference, right?
It's all everything. Yeah.
You're always traveling the world and spreading the news about St. Louis barbecue. You were recently in Brazil, and it sounds like it was a good-ish trip until
it's the best
things
ever.
happened.
I go there. I've been going there like 10 years, and I've been a few times in the last month actually already. But they have a whole different. They've gone crazy for barbecue down there, but they do more of a hot live fire thing than slow smoke thing, and it's all outdoor live fire stuff. And I was there. I just got back, I guess, a few days ago, and I did. I picked up a little virus down there for a few days. It kind of scared me, but I'm good now. I'm only semi-contagious, you guys. Don't worry.
Yeah, it was a mosquito bite.
Stop coughing over there. No, you look great, man.
Oh,
so
thanks.
The virus may have gotten. There's some goods and some bads with it.
I mean, I dropped about 15 pounds real quick, and I'm loving it. I recommend it to anybody.
I'm always curious when we interview people, is like their background and how you got involved in this. How did it all come about for you?
I just, I guess, I'm 53, so in like 89, all my friends went to college, and I think I was too stupid, so I was working at like Al Baker's and some other restaurants in St. Louis, and I kind of moved to New Orleans to be a chef, and I got lucky. I met Emeril before he got famous.
Oh, yeah.
And I was with him for years. Bam. Yeah, I was there before it was even Bam. He wasn't even bamming back then. And then,
how did that all start with him? Bam! Was that just a thing?
I don't know. He was just he was kind of yelling at people a lot and stuff, and he was get excited and bam. And I just remember him drinking like all these espressos all the time and being jacked up.
Yeah. So you meet Bam and you meet, I'm going to call him Bam. So you meet Bam, and then what happens to you?
I start meeting all like Julia Child's coming in the restaurant all the time, Charlie, all these famous chefs, and it was like the best restaurant in the world. And then I decided that's what I want to do. And then I met this guy, Charlie Trotter, through Emeril, who was a famous chef in Chicago. I went and worked with him for a while. Now I was in Napa. Then I was in France for a while. And I thought I was going to do fancy restaurants. And then every time I open a fancy restaurant, I go broke. And which wasn't fun.
So barbecue was pretty good.
Barbecue, and then I got lucky on barbecue. I got on a bunch of TV shows and did okay. And
so, who's been your biggest influence then?
In barbecue, boy, Mike Emerson from Pappy's was probably my biggest one. And there's a guy called Tuffy Stone I'm good friends with that has a lot of TV shows, and I talk to him a lot. For barbecue, I would say those two guys probably.
Where does St. Louis barbecue rank across the country? There's always these tournaments and things that you get into.
I think it's one of the best. There's Texas, there's Kansas City, Carolina, and Memphis get all the hype. But I think that we have so many good. There's us and Pappy's and Bogarts and Salt and Smoke and Beast, and I think we have a lot of good spots here. And I would rank it top 5.
Top 5, I like that.
There you go.
I would rank it number 5.
There you go.
And the best part about us is we don't have to do like Texas. You have to do brisket, and that has to be your thing. In Memphis, you have to do baby back ribs, and that has to be your thing. In Carolina, you have to do whole hog, and that has to be your thing. But we can do whatever we want, so we can pull the best from everywhere.
And it's cool, Mike, that you mentioned all those places, and you guys are all friends, and it's a friendly, maybe not even a competition, but you're kind of, it's like just a group of people that really gets along together. Fraternity.
We all like each other. There's enough room.
Yeah.
I think we all do pretty good.
Yeah.
You know?
A community, if you will.
Yeah.
So we had a very hard-hitting segment a little while ago, and it was our food draft, what we do. So we have a 4th of July one, we had Memorial Day, we have all that stuff going on. So I will just keep it to the main entree because we had to pick one each, and you tell us who did the best with picking the main entree for the meat, okay? We have ribs, cheeseburgers, brisket, or pork steaks.
I got to go cheeseburger.
Oh.
There we go.
I love burgers. I can't help it.
There's the burger
time.
a day guy.
I'm about to go eat one right now.
I like to hear that. So
it's 8:30 in the morning.
It's late. You reminded me I'm behind schedule.
Yeah, Mike Johnson from Sugarfire. A couple more things. Number one, John Fitzgerald on our YouTube chat asks, "What do you like better, brisket burnt ends or pork belly burnt ends?"
Ooh, boy, it depends on where I'm at. If I'm in Texas, I'd say brisket. If I'm here in Kansas City, I'd say pork belly, but I love both of them.
So
I can't pick one.
What's the biggest difference?
The brisket burnt end is probably a little juicier, and the pork belly one is probably a little fattier and crispier on the outside. I like to get them pork belly burnt ends real crispy on the outside, and they got that juicy, fatty bacon crunch to them. They should be a little crunchy. Yeah. And beef burnt ends don't necessarily have to be crunchy.
And then I introduced Dan because you are a burger guy, and I told Dan about Rehab Burger Therapy down in Scottsdale where they have the PBJ and bacon.
Yeah.
Do you like the non-traditional stuff like that?
Yeah, to an extent. One time we had a franchisee put a chocolate chip cookie on a burger, and I had to call him up and tell him to take it down. It gets too crazy. I like it, but
yeah. What's the craziest thing that you like? Like, would you like something like that, the PBJ or what?
Man? I don't like crazy stuff. Like in Brazil, I was just there. They're putting corn on pizza and banana on pizza. I don't like that.
What about pineapple and Canadian bacon on pizza?
No, I can't do it.
Can't do it?
What?
I just can't do it.
No,
I hate it.
why?
And my girlfriend's Canadian, and every time we get a pizza, she's trying to put pineapple on half of it, and I don't want the juice dripping over.
That's reasonable.
But you have the sweet and savory.
No, you don't. Yeah, you can have it for dessert.
We can like what we like. Okay, so tomorrow is the biggest day of the year, and you got to get out of here. I know because you've got a meeting downtown, but
I'll stay. I don't care. I'll tell them to.
Okay,
I like it here.
Well, thank you very much, Mike. Mike Johnson, Sugarfire, High Point, and hot pizza, cold beer. But the big thing, like you said, cheeseburger is your choice. The biggest key for, and we can't stress this enough, biggest key for people that are making cheeseburgers tomorrow.
Yeah, just whenever anyone tells you what temperature they want their burger, just say okay and then cook it however you want it. That's why I tell. But American cheese, and you have to toast the bun. I hate it when people don't toast the bun.
Oh, I love toasted buns.
That's embarrassing.
And
like you take the time, toast the bun. It protects the bun from getting soggy and adds an extra level of texture.
90 seconds, 2 minutes,
Toast the
right?
bun.
Yeah.
Put some butter on there. Toast it. But even put some margarine. That squeezing margarine stuff. That doesn't burn so easily. You can put that on there.
Yep. And great meat is the key.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
So what's that mixture?
I do. You can go to a butcher or even Schnucks or something. It's 50% chuck, 25 brisket, and 25% short rib meat, and about 85-15% fat content.
Yeah, nothing like it.
I'm hungry now.
It's 8:30. I'm starving.
Yeah, same.
So, and what are you making tomorrow?
I'm going to St. Simon's Island. I got some friends down there, Southern Soul Barbecue. They get voted #1 barbecue in the U.S. every year, and we're good friends. And we're doing a hamburger pop-up at the restaurant this weekend for their charity.
Good. I wonder if Adam Wainwright will show up.
Wainwright, he's from there.
Yeah.
They know him. Yeah, and like Davis Love's a partner in the restaurant. They're all friends, It's really fun.
That'll be a great time.
Yeah, so I'm going to head down to Jacksonville tomorrow, and then we drive up to St. Simons, and I'll be there till Sunday.
Good. Can't thank you enough for stopping by. You always take care of us and give us great tips. I'm going to go with the brisket, 12 to 14 hours. I'll be a busy man.
Yep.
Awesome.
So, but it'll be good. And if you aren't, the restaurants are open tomorrow, right? So
I'm paying rent tomorrow. I'm open tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's what I say.
So check out Sugarfire, High Point, hot pizza, cold beer, and during the course of the summer, enjoy all of those restaurants that Mike Johnson's involved with. Thank you, sir.
You guys. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And, I want a grade.
Happy birthday, Britt. Yeah.
Thank you.
Text me back and give me a grade A to F on the carrot cake. Okay?
I will. I think it's going to be an A.
It's going to be an A+.
Oh,
A+.
it's
that
delicious.
good.
Yeah.
I appreciate it, Mike. Thanks.
Yep, thanks, guys.
We all
Appreciate
do.
it.
That's Mike Johnson from Sugarfire with us on 101 ESPN. Coming up, we've got the fight. Matthew, do we need a fighter today?
Yes.
Okay, well, if you want to fight, then text in 314-399-9646, 314-399-YO-HO! And maybe Matthew will pick you to fight me next on 101 ESPN.
Hey everyone, it's Brooke here for Universal Windows Direct. The heat has arrived and it's only going to get hotter from here. Do not cool off the outside this year. Go call my guys over at Universal Windows Direct. While we're all excited for it to get warmer outside, I actually enjoy when it gets a lot hotter outside. I love summer, but I'm never excited to see that energy bill that comes with the heat. So that's where Universal Window Direct comes in handy. Their windows feature super spacer technology, which helps keep the edge of the glass warmer, holds the window seal longer, and makes the windows last up to 5 times longer than other window systems. So your windows from Universal perform better and they last longer. Schedule your free in-home estimate today, and for every 2 windows you buy, get the next 2 for free, plus 0% financing for 60 months. That's 3 years. Restrictions apply. Universal Windows Direct backs it all up with a true lifetime warranty as long as you own the home, and a 20-year warranty to the next homeowner. Mention my name and get an additional $250 off your next project. Go to UWD.com. That's UWD.com. And like me, you'll be saying, I love my windows.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling. The Cardinals yesterday with a 7-4 win over the Pirates. Kyle Gibson, 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. And you can catch Kyle Gibson coming up here shortly at 9 o'clock here on the opening drive with Brooke, Danny, and Randy. You can catch that always on the podcast as well if you can't catch it live with our Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers podcast on 101ESPN.com. Cardinals will play game 2, 5:40 first pitch today against the Pirates. And yesterday in NHL Free Agency, the Blues signed Pavel to a 6-year, $48 million extension. That is your Sports Center update, brought to you by Saliga Heating and Cooling, an independent American Standard heating and air conditioning dealer.
Welcome to the fight. In the red corner, Average Joe Listener. And in the blue corner, the undisputed king of morning drive. Please welcome Randy Carricker.
Welcome back to the opening drive. Brooke, Dan, Rocky, and Randy here, and it is time for the fight. And our fighter today is Nathan. Nathan, how are you doing this morning?
I'm doing well. Good morning, guys.
Is this your first time facing Randy in the fight?
It's actually my second.
Oh.
How did you fare in the first?
I lost 4-3, and funnily enough, Dan, you were filling in for Michelle that morning.
Oh, okay. I remember it fondly.
Yeah, me too.
Well, good luck to you, Nathan. I'm pulling for you.
I appreciate it.
You bet.
All right, you ready for question number 1?
Yes.
Who did the 1967 Cardinals beat in the World Series? Was it the Red Sox, the Yankees, or the A's?
I think I'm going to go with the A's.
Okay, here we go with question 2. After playing the first 16 years of his career in the National League, Orlando Cepeda finished out his career with 3 different American League clubs. Which was the last club Cepeda ever played for, playing 33 games in the 1974 season? Was it the A's, the Red Sox, or the Royals?
This is a complete guess, but I think I'm going to go with the Red Sox.
All right. Question 3.
Including postseason games, who is the only player to tally 2,000-plus receiving yards in an NFL season? Is it Cooper Kupp, Jerry Rice, or Isaac Bruce?
I think it would have to be Isaac Bruce.
All right. Question 4. Which member of the extended Alou family finished with the most career hits? Was it Moises, Matty, or Felipe?
Moises.
Good choice. All right, let me go grab Randall.
How are you feeling,
All right.
Nathan?
A lot of baseball questions today.
Yeah, what were you hoping for?
Yeah, baseball and football, and that's what I got, so I should feel good.
There you go. All right, Randy is coming in right now with his brand new Stanley Cup, which you can see on the YouTube if you want to go see his brand new one. What color did you say that it is?
Orange.
I say it's like blood orange. There's definitely some red tint to it.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Randy, say hi to Nathan.
Nathan, hello. Welcome back.
Hi.
How you doing?
I'm doing well. How are you?
Doing great. Thanks for listening. Thanks for playing. We appreciate you being a part of this holiday edition of the opening drive.
All right, you ready for question number 1, Randy?
I'm ready.
Who did the 1967 Cardinals beat in the World Series?
Oh, man. Let's see. Oh, okay. It was Matthew Sedona.
Go through some history here. I like it when he does this.
It could have been the Tigers. Could have been the Yankees. But I think it might have been the Impossible Dream Red Sox. I'll go with the Impossible Dream Red Sox.
Are you sure about that?
Yaz. Yeah, he was part of that team.
Yep.
It was pretty good. Boomer Scott.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll go with the Bo Sox, 1967.
All right, you ready for question 2?
I'm ready, Dan.
All right. After playing the first 16 years of his career in the National League, Orlando Cepeda finished out his career with 3 different American League clubs. Which was the last club Cepeda ever played for, playing 33 games in the 1974 season.
Wow. Cha-cha.
This is a good one.
It is a good one.
I would have guessed wrong.
I think I'm going to go with the Athletics.
Okay. Final answer?
Yes, sir.
Question 3, including postseason games, who is the only player to tally 2,000-plus receiving yards in an NFL season?
2,000-plus receiving yards in an NFL season. I'm guessing it was not Calvin Johnson, who was pretty close, right? Rice would seem to be the logical choice with his 1,800-yard season. Pretty close to 1,800 yards. Julio Jones had one where I think he had 1,900. Julio, but I don't know if that was the same year they went to the Super Bowl. I will go. Unless there's somebody I'm not thinking of here, I think it's between those two. But I'll do the lifeline just in case, Brooke.
Okay. Cooper Kupp, Jerry Rice, or Isaac Bruce?
Oh, Cooper Kupp. Interesting. I think I'll go with him. Isaac did not have one of his spectacular regular seasons when he was in the Super Bowls. So I'm pretty sure it was not Isaac. Rice, that was 1987. Or no, 87 was all the touchdowns. I don't think that he did it when he had the 200 yards in the Super Bowl, though, at 15, 17. I'm going to go with Cooper Kupp.
Final answer?
Final answer, sir.
Question 4. Which member of the extended Alou family finished with the most career hits?
Boog.
I knew
Boogaloo.
you were going to say it.
Oh, no.
I knew you were going to say it. God.
All right, is that your final answer?
No.
Is that your final? Kind of seems like it.
I think
Yeah.
I think so this includes the sons, right? Moises?
Extended family.
Extended family.
Technically, it also includes the Rojas's.
Oh, okay. Miguel?
I don't think he's...
Okay.
No.
Okay. So you've got Maddie, Felipe, was it Maddie, Felipe, Jesus, Jesus to some. I am going to go with Moises.
Moises Alou, do you remember when he had that nasty ankle injury?
Yeah, and the Greg Jeffries had to go tag him out.
It was terrible.
His leg was broken in half, and he was sitting there between first and second. Yeah, and I think it was Jeffries that had to go and tag him on the head.
Yep.
All right, we have a winner in today's fight. Nathan with a second shot at Randy Carricker. Is Dana McLaughlin just his bad luck charm? We'll have to see. You were here for his last time when he played Randy and lost. Does he fall again this time?
He reminded
because
me
of you.
I was filling in for Michelle at the time.
Oh, wow.
So I remember it fondly. Nathan gave you a hell of a run.
Or does Nathan snap his streak and take down Randy Carricker? Ring that bell.
The winner and still champion of the fight, Randy Carricker.
The fight is presented by Golf Discount of St. Louis. With the most experienced club fitters in town. Why shop anywhere else?
I got it all aboard here, but you know what? I can change
What
it.
was going on?
There it is. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Nathan. Randy Carricker beat you 3-1 in the fight today.
I was worried about having a bad weekend.
Yeah, it was a tricky one today. 1967 Cardinals beat the Red Sox in the World Series that year. Of course, one of the players, Orlando Cepeda, after playing 16 years of his career in the National League, he played for 3 different AL teams, the Athletics, the Red Sox, and the Royals. The Royals were actually the team he finished out his career with in 1974. It is, in fact, Cooper Kupp, the only player to tally 2,000-plus receiving yards in an NFL season. He had 1,900, and then he tagged 400 onto that in the postseason when the LA Rams went on to win a Super Bowl. 1995 was the closest when Jerry Rice had 1,848 regular season yards, but they lost after just one playoff game. He only got 117 playoff yards, so he finished with 1,965 in that season. And which member of the extended Alou family finished with the most career hits? It is, in fact, Moises Alou. He finished with 2,154, Felipe with 2,101, and Maddie with 1,777.
And Boog?
I don't have his stat in front of me. And by the way, the Rojas's that are in the Alou family are Luis, Mel, and Jose. I think they're all pitchers. Or no, 2 of them. The last 2 are pitchers. Mel was a exposed. Mel and Jose were pitchers.
He was.
Luis was not. So yeah, there's the fight today. A 3-1 win for Randy Carricker. Thank you again, Nathan, for joining the fight and joining the show today.
Yeah, have a great holiday weekend, guys.
You too, Nathan.
Thank you, Nathan.
Thank you. And enjoy your hot dog eating contest.
Oh,
Nathan's hot dog eating contest?
Randy.
Did you see Joey Chestnut is he's gonna take on 4 military members coming up. Yeah, he's doing I think it's like a charitable thing.
Okay, so is him against the 4 combined?
Yes.
I like this a lot.
Yeah. I'll watch that instead of the other one.
I will too. Yeah, I want to watch Joey. Coming up next year on 101 ESPN, we've got a full hour of interviews in the 9 o'clock hour, so we've got the rush hour reset, and we'll see if these guys are able to hang in on the rush hour reset after having some of the brisket that they're going to have during the break on 101 ESPN.
Hey, Danny Mac for Stewart's American Mortgage. If you're someone who is looking to purchase a home or refinance, or if you're looking to consolidate some of that ugly credit card debt, and maybe you don't know exactly what direction to go to in any of these things, let me make it easy for you. Call Stewie from Stewart's American Mortgage. He's on the phone line with us. And Stewie, we're talking about home equity line of credit.
Any of these people were driving along the side of the road there on 40. They heard the advertisement on ESPN, heard you talking about me, and they said, you know what? We have to get a line of credit because we want to improve our kitchen. We want to do an addition. So they're driving along. They hear me talking about it, and they call me up and they say, you know, last minute, we're on the way to the bank. What do you have to offer? And then I explained to them that a home equity line of credit is an adjustable rate mortgage. It's like a credit card on your house. You don't have a fixed payment. You don't have a fixed rate. It can go up and down. There are no caps. And you can be stuck in a situation where you make payments for 5 years and you still owe what you started with. And they started scratching their heads. Wrong move. They turned around, made a U-turn, and they got a regular $100,000 fixed rate mortgage with us. That's the way to do it. You don't have to worry about the payments going up. You don't have to worry about owing in 5 years what you started with. It's a smarter way to go. They said, you know, I didn't realize it, but now that you taught me this, I'm coming back to you.
Now, Stewie, you never take a day off. Are you going to take the 4th of July off? What are you doing?
No, I love what I do. Why would I take the day off? It's okay. My wife helps me all the time.
I love it. You also talk about the bagel loan. If you borrow $200,000 or more, there's no underwriting fees, no appraisal fees, no title fees, no lender fees, and no closing costs. So Stewart is your guy. He makes it easy for you. Any questions on rates, the industry, the trends, give him a call. And again, as he said, 101 ESPN listeners calling him his personal cell phone. Here is the number, 314-324-4440. 314-324-4440. Or Stewie, what else can you do?
Google the bagel loan.
Have a great 4th of July.
NMLS number 226715.
It's 8:53 in St. Louis. Your time check brought to you by Clarkson Jewelers, an officially licensed Rolex jeweler. Next hour, we've got Kyle Gibson. We've got Sacha Kljestan, the MLS studio analyst for Apple TV+. And we're going to talk to Jeremy Rutherford about the Blues moves as well. Blues moves including signing Pavel Buchnevich to a 6-year, $48 million extension. Plus, they made 2 trades, giving up future considerations for forward Rocc Faxa of Dallas and Matthew Joseph. They also give up get a third rounder for future considerations from Ottawa for Matthew Joseph. And then they signed Matthew's brother, Pierre-Olivier Joseph, who's a defenseman as well. So the Blues have been busy. What do you guys think of the Buchnevich extension?
I think that it was the best thing to do in that situation. I'm glad that he's coming back. I think he adds a lot of value to your team, especially when you're in this retool, rebuild mode, which I don't know if we've decided necessarily what to call it.
How about reset? Just kind of pressing the reset button.
A reset, yeah, where you haven't completely tossed everything out. Now, this contract will kick in at his age 30. He's 29 currently, so he'll be 30 next season. It will keep him here until age 36. I think it was the right thing to do, especially when you're bringing in these younger players. One, being able to learn from Buchnevich, because honestly, in my opinion, anytime he's on the ice, you can see the impact that he has on this team, especially when he's healthy.
I'm not sure how you can't, though, be concerned with the back end of the deal. As you mentioned, he'll be 36 when that hits. The Wingers last year was 70-plus points at age 31 and older. There was only 4. And so if you take it even further, you break it down to 60-plus points, the list gets a little longer. There were 7. So now the cap is going to change moving forward. So the deal is going to look a lot better financially in years 3, 4, and so on and so forth. But that would be the concern for me, is just the back end of the deal.
And the fact that he really has not been an iron horse. In his last 5 years, he's played 68, 54, 73, 63, and then last year 80 games. So he did play a lot of games last year. But for the most part, he's had injuries during the course of his career, which would be a concern. But my big thing with this is, am I going to trust my view of this or a future Hall of Fame general manager? I think I'm going to lean, with all due respect to my immense hockey knowledge, I'm going to lean towards the knowledge of Doug Armstrong over mine.
And the other part of this, with the deals that they made yesterday, it allows, I think, the younger players to take a little pressure off of them.
Yeah.
So you're getting a couple veterans that come in, one that can play up and down the lineup, the other one has a ton of playoff experience. That helps. I mean, that's going to take some of the pressure off the younger guys.
I think the key that you said there earlier is the cap, and it will be going up later on. So I think this contract will look really good later on when you compare it to others.
It's a great point. Because the cap, the revenue, especially with the ESPN deal, the revenue will continue to increase for the NHL. Cardinals and Kyle Gibson, 7-4 winners over the Pirates last night. Gibby with, shouldn't have said it. Kyle with 5 innings, 5 hits, 4 earned runs. He walked 1, struck out 8, and did allow a couple of home runs. And until the Cardinals scored their last run of the game, every run of the game by both teams have been scored via the home run. Nolan Gorman with a grand slam, Burley with a 2-run homer.
He was really sailing, Kyle Gibson was sailing through the first 4 innings, and he's not exactly a swing and miss guy. I think that we could all say that. He's not known for that, but striking out 8 and just walking 1, the walk rate going down, I think, is huge for him after that last outing. But he was, of course, dealing with some back issues, so it was good for Kyle Gibson to see that. Nolan Gorman was the big thing for me. Getting that grand slam after that really rough month of June for him, that has to be a huge relief for him.
Kyle Gibson's smart, man. I mean, the strikeout, as you mentioned, the total was high, but he took advantage of a strike zone that was wide. And so when you do that, you're going to have success. And not only was it Burley and not only was it Nolan Gorman, but 5 Cardinals had multiple hits, and Donovan with 3. And we talk about the importance of Brendan Donovan. He's turning into a force for the Cardinals, undoubtedly, both on and off the field.
The Brewers made a trade this morning. They have acquired right-hander Aaron Savali, who has good stuff, and he's been really highly regarded in the past. He comes from Tampa. Tampa got him from Cleveland last year, and the Brewers acquired him for minor league infielder Gregory Barrios. Savali, 29 years old, 2-6 with a 5.07 over 17 starts for the Rays this season. During his career, though, well, just going back to last year, he had a really good year going for Cleveland when he got dealt to Tampa Bay. And he's a guy that I think will benefit and provide innings for a Brewers staff that needs it.
I mean, Dallas Keuchel, now Aaron Savali. I mean, they're trying to get anybody they can to provide innings. They've been decimated with injuries in the rotation. So it makes some sense. Take a flyer on a guy and maybe catch lightning in a bottle. But they need innings. They need starting pitching, and that's what you have to do sometimes is be aggressive in other areas in which other teams are not, and hopefully you catch lightning in a bottle.
With the amount of injuries that they've had, I cannot believe that they're able to stay at the top of the division. I'm not trying to discount their talent and what they have over there, but it's surprising when you have that many injuries with any team, how they're able to stay at the top of the division.
It's truly amazing. It really is. Credit to the Brew Crew. And then the other note this morning, LeBron James staying with the Lakers in a shocking development. 2 years, $104 million for LeBron. Coming up, Kyle Gibson with us on 101 ESPN.
Stupiracy, the podcast where stupidity meets history and conspiracy. With hosts Scott Rizzuto and Tim McKernan. Check out the latest episode available now as Riz and Tim uncover the scandalous life of General Daniel E. Sickles, a Civil War hero known for much more than his battlefield exploits. Sex parties, murder. Oh no, he murdered me. And unexpected heroism. Dive into the wild life of General Sickles with Stupiracy. Watch or listen now on Spotify, Apple, or YouTube. Presented
So Mike Johnson from Sugarfire told me that the most important thing for my brisket over the course of tonight and tomorrow is to go and get a great piece of meat. So I'm going to go to the best butcher in town today when I go to Schnucks. The kids got their carrot cakes today. All of those ingredients came from Schnucks. And yesterday when I was getting the ingredients, I used my Schnucks Rewards app. And the program is even better now because Schnucks just released new perks to make it more personalized. They have personal double points, and that makes earning rewards easier and faster. Just keep an eye on the Rewards app for your personal double play points day coupon. And once you clip it, you can use it to get double the points on your entire purchase. So instead of your usual 2% back, you're getting 4% back in Schnucks Rewards to use for a future purchase. You get to choose when to use the coupon. You can apply it next time you do go to Schnucks or when you stock up to shop. The next time you do it, then you can stock up and use your Schnucks Rewards point for a bigger purchase. This is an app coupon, so be sure to download the Schnucks Rewards app and check your digital coupons when you head to Schnucks. Grimsley, Danny Mac, Randy Carricker, the opening drive, 101 ESPN, and Cardinal right-hander Kyle Gibson joins us now, as he does every week here on the opening drive. He, of course, representing Big League Impact, and yesterday representing the Cardinals team, presented his manager with a birthday victory. Kyle got the win. The Cardinals knock off the Pirates by a score of 7-4. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Randy, Brooke, Danny, good morning, guys. How are y'all doing?
Everything's great, and good move. It's always good to pitch well and get your manager a win on his birthday.
You know, we wished him happy birthday in the dugout before he went out, and thankfully we were able to get a win. So that's good. I would have loved to have not make him make a bullpen move that early, but you know, if he's not walking out there and in the limelight on his birthday, you know, maybe I can look at that. Just give him a little more TV time out there.
Huge win for you guys. And just assessing how things went in the first half of the season, I mean, everybody knows the big story right now is on May 11th, you guys were 15-24 and last place in the National League. Since then, you guys now have the best record in the National League. What changed during the course of that time?
I think we just started playing a little bit more complete games more consistently. You know, we would have times where we would pitch well and wouldn't hit. We would hit and we wouldn't pitch well. Our defense has been really consistent all year, thankfully, which really is a big help because when you have consistent defense, you know, that can really kind of, you know, fill some gaps and make up in some of those close games and give us a chance. And you know, but I think for us, we never lost belief because I think when you look back, you know, we probably played, it feels like 50 plus or 60 games that have been 2 runs or less. So, you know, we've been in a lot of games and it was just kind of a matter of time when we got those hits and when we made that pitch. And, but man, that defense and that bullpen has been really consistent and given us a chance in a lot of games.
Boy, you're a bright guy because 3 or fewer runs. I was looking at this the other day. I think you guys have played the most in Major League Baseball, so you have played a lot of tight games. I want to know, what's it like the day after a start? You got the win under your belt. It's not like you went out there for an inning and 2/3 and you're like, got to wait 5 days. So what's it like the day after a start?
Well, I was fortunate. My mom and dad drove over from Indy, and my sister, brother-in-law, and their 3 kids drove over from Louisville. So we're walking around right now. We just saw my mom and dad off heading back home, and then grabbing a coffee here with my niece and nephews and brother-in-law and sister, and gonna go get some breakfast. But you know, after outings like this, I try to be, you know, realistic and fair to myself. But also critical, you know. Obviously, I would have loved for that 5th inning to go different, you know, after the 4th, whether I got ahead of myself or whatever it is. But, I mean, I was looking to get into the 7th inning and you know, having a long start. But, you know, never fails that little squibbers and stuff like that start off something big. I don't know what it is, but and then those 2 homers just, you know, long at bats and kind of extended the inning a little bit. But, I'll go through a little bit of that inning and see if there's anything that I can, you know, clean up for next time. But overall, stuff felt a whole lot better than the Atlanta game, and you know, everything felt pretty good. So try to take a look and see what we can work on in the bullpen this week.
Kyle, just regarding stadiums, not regarding road cities, what's your favorite road stadium?
Fenway. I know that might sound like an easy answer, but for me, it probably is. I've had a couple starts that probably make it a little bit more sentimental for me, where I threw the ball well, so that kind of helps. But I just love the old feel. I don't know if I've told you guys before, but I love that, you know, all Major League Baseball stadiums are a little different, you know, and that one obviously stands out because of the monster, because of the different dimensions. You know, the bullpens are right next to the fans, and they're literally able to touch you while you're warming up on the shoulder. And it's just a cool setting. It's just a cool setting, and then you see all the history there. And then they sing Sweet Caroline right there in the 8th inning, and nothing beats that.
Yeah, it's really cool. The reason I asked the question is because a lot of people will answer the park that you're playing in now, and then a lot of people in the National League go with San Francisco as well.
Yeah, Pittsburgh's a cool park. My sister and brother-in-law stayed in a hotel right next to the stadium, and then I just walked the bridge there with my niece and nephew on the way back toward our hotel. And, you know, there's like 5 or 6 bridges right there within what seems to be a quarter mile. And then you can see those in the background, and it's a really cool backdrop. for sure. So Pittsburgh is definitely one of the cooler ones on the list if I was going to rank the road stadiums.
You mentioned how important this bullpen has been, and of course, Ryan Helsley has been a big part of that, his 31st consecutive save. Do you have as much fun watching Helsley as we do?
Yeah, he's been really fun to get to know. We've been kind of, if I wasn't with my family this morning, we'd be on our coffee run. We normally get coffee together in the morning, and he's been really fun just to talk to and get to know his mindset a little bit, because that closer mindset is different. You got to be on a little different level of focus, understanding, when you're out there, the game's in the balance. And, the way he goes about that is really cool to see. And, somebody in the media last night asked me, how much of a luxury that is. And, I think our whole bullpen on top of that is a big luxury, because people know that there's not a bunch of runs to get after the sixth inning. So if you're not ahead against the Cardinals, your chances of winning are very slim. And then, especially when you get to that ninth inning, Helsley's been really good. And he's given up a few runs here and there, but, that's what human pitchers do. Only non-humans can put up zeros every time. So, he's been really fun to watch, because it's a dominant force.
Can I ask you a weird question? And you can tell me no. Okay, good. Because when you say, can I ask you a weird question, you got to say, yeah. Okay, so you're great on these interviews, and you've been great in the media. Do you ever get worried that you say something and you reflect on it, you go, oh, man, this is going to go viral because of social media? Do you guys in general every once in a while worry about that kind of stuff?
Yes. I try to have a positive outlook on how media spins things. Very rarely have I been around media members that I quite honestly feel like I'm going to get misquoted quite a bit. There hasn't been many, but there's been a couple. And sometimes it's just when, the team's struggling, and every now and then somebody's looking for a story. That's just how media is and getting clicks sometimes. No offense to you guys. Mm-hmm. But there are times every now and then where, after a bad game or even after a good game, I'll say something and I'll reflect on it a little bit. And maybe it's, sounding like placing blame on somebody. Well, the more I think about it, or, not giving credit where I feel like I should have. And I'll go up to either that person, most of the time it's a coach like Ollie or somebody like that, and say, hey, listen, I got asked this question in the media. I don't know how they're going to write it, but this is what I was intending. I just want to get ahead of it here and just kind of see how it plays out. Every now and then that happens, but, I was taught kind of at a young age in the game, starting pitchers, you're talking to the media. And I know for the most part what they're going to ask me, right? Like they're going to ask about the 2 home runs in the 5th. And if I don't give up those, they're going to ask about, what went right. So I try to have those answers prepared. And then I think that's, for me, the best way to make sure that I'm giving clear answers, and I'm giving answers that hopefully can satisfy the question.
Kyle, a couple more things. Number one, we're a couple of weeks away from the start of NFL training camps, and I know that you and a lot of your teammates, including Wayno and Steven Matz and Tommy Edman, are getting ready for fantasy football. Are you somebody that scouts during training camp, and the preseason, getting ready for fantasy football?
No, I do not take it that serious. I let everybody else.
Does.
Tommy Edman does. So there are, I've never played a dynasty league, but there are drafts already been done in this clubhouse for a dynasty league that started up. And I don't know how these guys do it. They're taking guys that haven't played a snap past their junior year of college, and they're taking, I don't know. I don't understand it all. But Tommy Edman is locked in on it. So we're going to find out, I think, in the team league how much that research really helps them. Because I've kind of found that spring training numbers normally don't mean a thing. And, I think training camp, they're doing less and less of it. So I don't know how you can really gauge much on it. But either way, he's on it. I will say that. He knows his stuff, and he's been talking a lot of fantasy football, as have some of these other guys in the league.
And people, if they want to get involved with the Big League Impact fantasy football season, can go to bigleagueimpact.org right now and get involved. Hey, Kyle, before we let you go, because Brooke brought up this season, and it has been kind of a roller coaster ride, but as you head into the second half, we're at the 4th of July. That's a good milepost now. You kind of know your team. How do you feel about this team?
I feel the same as I felt at the beginning, quite honestly, Randy. we feel really confident that if we can stay healthy, and the crazy thing is we really haven't had our whole team, for any part of the year. We're excited to get Tommy back here hopefully soon. Lars is getting back healthy again, and both of those guys are going to be a shot in the arm for sure. And I think if we can stay healthy on the pitching side, then we feel really good about where we're at, with starters each day going out there, and who wouldn't want to have this bullpen that we have. So, and I think the cool thing in that bullpen is that guys have emerged that we weren't really sure what roles they were going to have, but where would this bullpen be without Ryan Fernandez right now doing what he's doing and giving guys a break whenever they need it. So, I feel almost a little bit more confident because we weathered a pretty big storm here early on, as you guys said, 15-25, and we're right back where we need to be and slowly making up ground on the Brewers, too.
As we mentioned earlier, big league impact. That's why we get Kyle Gibson on these weekly visits as their fantasy drafts coming up. A lot of money is raised. Now, we get a text in, and it says, I love this guy. I got him on my fantasy team. So there's baseball fantasy team. Do you get a kick out of that when people say, oh, I got you on my fantasy team, man?
Yeah, you know what? Cardinal social media has been, pretty fair to me. Even when I have a tough game, they haven't really been getting after me. But there's certain times where somebody will let you know that they played you in daily fantasy, and when you think they let you know about it. But yeah, hopefully I'm doing okay for that guy or that
awesome.
gal on fantasy football. But I appreciate you plugging, Big League Impact Fantasy Football. The spots are going on sale here soon, and like you said, Wayno's going to be there, and Tommy, I'm in a lot of guys, so it's going to be a lot of fun.
Kyle, congratulations on last night. Have fun with your family and have a great 4th of July, and we'll see you when you guys get back home.
All right, happy 4th, guys. Thank you.
Thank you. That is Kyle Gibson, Cardinal right-hander, with us on 101 ESPN. Coming up, we're going to talk some St. Louis City SC soccer with Sacha Kljestan of MLS 360. He'll join us next to talk about the moves that SC has made. Next on 101 ESPN. Hey, there's a lot of great things happening over at Together Credit Union, and you should get the Together Credit Union City SC debit card. It is sensational, and it can change the way that you go about your daily business. And what you need to do is go to togethercreditunion.org and check it out. And I'll tell you what, if you get that Together Credit Union card, it's going to make so much of a difference for you, because not only do you get discounts, 10% discounts on everything that you get over at City SC, whether it's merchandise or food inside the stadium, but you also get that express entry into the stadium, the city park. And when you get that, man, it's a life changer. You don't have to wait in line. You don't have to deal with the other people in line. Just because you have that red Together Credit Union debit card, you get the free lifetime MyCity Plus membership, the in-stadium discounts, and express entry into City SC matches. And as a special bonus, Together Credit Union is going to send you a commemorative print of City Park Stadium, the home of St. Louis City SC, while supplies last. Open any personal checking account at togethercu.org or stop by any of the Together Credit Union's 14 local branches and choose the St. Louis City SC debit card at account opening. Don't wait. Sign up today. Membership eligibility required. Federally insured by the NCUA.
by Sumner One.
I think it's simply a time now where we realize we have to do better, and that's when we want to reset and have this fresh starts with new players coming in as well very, very soon. And I think that's the way we have to look into the future. I don't really want to look too much back now into 2023. You know, it's done, and yes, it's a great achievement, but in the end of the day, we need to look forward. The future is that what we're here for, and we want to achieve our goals, and I believe we still can do that.
That is the sporting director for St. Louis City SC, Lutz Pfannenstiel, on the heels of the team firing Bradley Carnell earlier in the week. Brooke Grimsley, Dan McLaughlin, Randy Carricker, and it's good to have you with us on the opening drive on 101 ESPN in St. Louis. And we head to the celebrity line right now, and Sacha Kljestan of MLS 360 joins us on the celebrity line. Good morning, Sacha. Great to have you with us. How you doing?
Good morning, everybody. Thanks for having me. I'm doing great.
Good. We want to start with this. Obviously, the big news here in St. Louis over the course of this week has been the firing of Carnell. What was your reaction?
I thought it was extremely harsh. I think that Bradley Carnell ultimately was the victim of his own success from year one, that they set the standard and the bar so high that the fans and everybody's expectations rose to a level that I think were a bit inflated, in my opinion, because they finished first in the West last season, which was an incredible achievement. And then this year, of course, things have not been good. 3 wins in 20 games. Obviously, that's not good enough for any team in Major League Soccer. But I would have thought that Bradley Carnell would have been given more credit and more time after what he did last season. So I thought it was harsh.
Especially since they gave him the contract extension 5 months ago. And then you've had a lot of injuries, as you mentioned, this season with the team. Why do you think now was the time that they made this decision?
Well, obviously, the reason they made the decision, I think, is because of just what the record stands at right now, and the games, of run of games that have been where they have not gotten a win. They needed something to turn it around, and they felt the need to do something now in order to salvage something from this season and try to make a push for the playoffs. But I would have liked them to see a little bit more of the bigger picture and a more of a long-term play with Bradley Carnell.
You're an expert on this stuff, and having played at a high level for a long time, and now you're watching the league, do you think that Carnell failed to make enough in-game adjustments at times?
You know, it's possible. I think tactically we never really saw different wrinkles into the game, which is very similar criticism that I faced when I played for the New York Red Bulls, was that we only had one way of playing, and that was high pressing. And when the game looks a little bit different, for example, when a team sits back and defends deep and you have to break them down, you need more ideas with the ball. So I think that criticism is fair. I do think that a lot of players on the team just didn't give as much as they gave last season, or played up to the level that they played at last season. So we've seen a large drop-off from a lot of players that had good seasons last year.
Sacha, tonight, St. Louis City SC will host the San Jose Earthquakes, and they're having a rougher season than St. Louis City SC has. I wonder if, and you can tell me if soccer is different than other sports, I wonder if St. Louis City SC might get a bump from the coaching change against a team that theoretically SC should beat.
Yeah, they should get a bump. Most teams do when a new coach comes in, because it kind of lights a fire underneath everybody. They realize that this is a new opportunity. Perhaps guys who weren't getting starts, maybe John Hackworth sees something else in a few different starters, and you might see a few changes to the starting lineup, and those guys will bring some firepower or a little bit of an edge, because they feel like this is an opportunity to cement themselves in the lineup. And the way professional sports are, we know that 1, 2, 3 games, where if you win 3 games in a row, your whole season can change. And so it's always got to start with one game, and what better place to do it than at home against, the worst team in the league.
As of right now, as you mentioned, it will be John Hackworth taking things over. In your opinion, though, what directions should City SC take things?
Well, I think they want to find a coach that hopefully is there for a long time. I think that's what everybody's goal is to find a coach that they can build around, which I thought that was Bradley Carnell, who was still a young coach, who's had some experiences as an assistant coach in MLS, and then came in and had some success as a head coach. So I think they'll be looking for somebody like Bradley Carnell, who has a little bit of an experience, but also is somebody they can build around for the next 5 years.
How much of this do you think goes back to last year where it was kind of a fairy tale season? Everything seemed to go right, but maybe we were misled on just how good they were, and secondarily, other teams just not taking them for granted.
100%. You're so spot on. I think when we look at what St. Louis did last year and you look at some of the analytics and some of the numbers, they definitely overperformed some of their numbers. And so you have to take that with a grain of salt, that a lot of things went their way last season. They were definitely a playoff team. We saw in the playoffs they weren't the best team in the West, but they were very good. And now this year, they've underperformed those numbers again, and so they've kind of come back to reality a little bit. But, that's why I say that Bradley Carnell is a victim of his own success, because they set the bar so high. Imagine if they just finished in 7th place last season and squeaked into the playoffs, and now they were kind of having a tough year. I think Bradley Carnell would still have his job. They might still give him more time. But because the bar has been set so high in St. Louis, the fans are sold out every game. The stadium is great. The team did really well. They had a lot of success. So now with such a big dip, someone has to pay the price.
Hey, Sacha, a couple more things. Number one, from me, the last thing that I have. Did Carnell have the weapons to compete with? Is this talent enough to compete with the way the management is talking about competing?
Not when I look at the rest of the league, specifically at the top of the league. When I look at the attack of LAFC and LA Galaxy and Real Salt Lake and, even the Seattle Sounders, who have struggled a bit, I don't see the same amount of quality. And when I look and see, João Klaus, 5 goals this season, Celio Pompeo is your second leading scorer at 3 goals. Clearly, there has not been enough in attack. I think Edwin Loven has taken a step back. Obviously, he's had some personal family issues and hasn't been available for all the games. But no, when I look specifically at the attack of the team, it's actually nowhere close to what being the best in the league needs.
Final question for me. Were people, generally speaking, the insiders like yourself and experts in the sport, were they shocked at the move with Bradley? Or is this just kind of the trend in the sport that we need to get used to, that there's a lot of turnover with the head coaching spot?
There's a bit of both. I personally was shocked because, like I said, I thought Bradley had done enough to buy himself some credit, to let him play out the season and give him time. I think the best teams in MLS are the teams that give their coaches a couple of years to build and build and build. And so I was shocked by it. But having said that, I think we've seen 5 coaches dismissed at this point in the season already in Major League Soccer. Last year, by this point, I think there was like 7. So it is part of the professional soccer landscape. I think the pressure is rising in Major League Soccer to perform not only week in and week out, but season by season. And I think this is the new normal, that when you have high expectations and you don't meet them, someone's going to pay the price. Unfortunately, it was Bradley Carnell.
Sacha, it'll be fun tonight on MLS 360. You got 10 games on the MLS schedule on a Wednesday evening, so that'll be fun for you guys. You'll have a lot to pay attention to.
We've got a lot. Every time it's MLS 360, we're watching every game from around the league. But the highlight of the week is tomorrow night in Los Angeles, that's for sure. El Tráfico from the Rose Bowl, 2 teams that sit in first place in the Western Conference. Going to be an awesome atmosphere.
We will be tuned in. You guys do great work. Thanks so much for the time. Have a great 4th of July, and hopefully we'll be able to talk as the second half of the season unfolds.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
Thank
Sacha.
You. Sacha Kljestan of MLS 360 on Apple with us on 101 ESPN. Interesting. I haven't run into anybody that's an expert, and I'm far from an expert about MLS or soccer, but I haven't run into anybody who says that this was a good move to fire Carnell.
Yeah, it seems like it was really quick triggered. Mm-hmm. There's got to be something to it.
Yeah.
There's got to be something that will not come out in the media, but some underlying factors behind the scenes, and it shouldn't come out. It's their business. if it's on a personnel situation
philosophical differences.
Well, that could be it too.
Not
or
again.
how you handle relationships. I mean, there's something there because I don't think you make this move unless there is.
No, even to the answer that he had to my question about who will the next coach be or what they'll be looking for, it sounds like he even said that it would be Carnell. He fits that description of a coach to build around that's young enough to do so, and Carnell fit the bill there.
Coming up, the Blues with some moves yesterday, a lot of roster moves. We're going to talk about those with our buddy Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider from The Athletic, who joins us next on 101 ESPN. As we head into the second half of 2024, you might want to think about enhancing your engagement with potential customers. And a great way to do that is by getting in touch with our friends at 2060 Digital, right here in our building. They're a part of Hubbard Broadcasting. And if you get in touch with 2060 Digital, there's so many things that they can do to help your business. First of all, they can help engagement with potential customers by making you an expert with social media, knowing when to post, what kind of pictures to post, and how to attract the people that are most interested in what you are selling. Also, with 2060 Digital, they do a fantastic job of building websites. You might think your website is great. 2060 Digital builds spectacular websites. They have veteran people back there that are experts in the industry and know exactly what to do. And third, and certainly not least, what they do at 2060 Digital is work algorithms so that your company can be on that front page when somebody does a search for your category. So if we search yarn balls of yarn. Your company can be first when that search is performed by an individual. 2060 Digital demystifies the process of using digital and social media by transforming it from a challenge into an opportunity. Get in touch with 2060 Digital today. 101ESPN.com/2060Digital.
This is Rocky with your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. The Cardinals with a 7-4 win yesterday over the Pirates, and we talked to the winning pitcher today on the opening drive, Kyle Gibson. He went 5 innings pitched, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, and 1 walk, 8 strikeouts, and 2 home runs allowed. And he joined the show. You can catch that on our Dobbs Tire and Auto Centers podcast on 101ESPN.com. Cardinals are back in action today. 5:40 first pitch. It'll be Miles Michaelis taking on the righty for the Pirates, Jared Jones. And in NHL Free Agency yesterday, the Blues signed Pavel Buchnevich to a 6-year, $48 million extension. That is your Sports Center update, driven by Johnny Londoff Chevrolet and Johnny Londoff Autoplex. See them at londoff.com. Chevy, together we drive. Are you kidding me?
101 ESPN. News, notes, and nuggets. It's time for the Rutherford Report with our Blues insider, Jeremy Rutherford. Brought to you by Scott Lee Heating Company, a proud Mitsubishi Electric Elite contractor.
Our Blues insider from The Athletic, Jeremy Barron Rutherford, joins us here on 101 ESPN. We had Sacha Kljestan last time, and now we've got Jeremy Barron Rutherford with us. Good morning, sir. How you doing?
Good morning. Good morning. I'll take it. I'll take it.
What is your middle name?
A couple weeks ago. Paul. We'll go with Paul for this answer. Jeremy Paul Rutherford. Kind of like the Pope, right?
Yeah, JP. That's right. There you go. All right, JR, great piece up today at The Athletic about the Blues re-signing Pavel Buchnevich. And it seems, based on your reporting, that he's a guy that just adores us as St. Louisans.
I got that vibe. I did. Pavel Buchnevich is in Russia. His agent told me enjoying some time with his family, his fiancée Alexandra, and his dog Dia, I think is how you pronounce it. And so he was not available yesterday to talk, and I really wanted to get the perspective of Buchnevich in this contract situation. And so I asked his agent, Todd Diamond, who I've talked to for a long time. And yesterday he told me just what you said, Randy. I think fans are going to love his answer. He said, number one, that he wanted to be here in St. Louis. He's competitive, but he doesn't want to be part of a retool, but he thinks that Doug Armstrong wants to get through this just as quick as Pavel Buchnevich does. And then also when I asked about not maximizing the ability to get that 8-year contract, he said, look, this is a guy, Pavel Buchnevich, who wants to earn his money. He doesn't want to just sit by and collect money. And so we'll take the 6-year deal. And if he's still productive and happy with the situation at 36, we can sign for a couple years. So I think Blues fans had to be really excited about the answers that the agent at least provided for Pavel Buchnevich.
JR, on the Blues side of things, why was this the right move for them to make?
I think it's a great move on a couple fronts. I think that they have a situation where they have a guy who's been a part of it for a couple years now. He's been a point-per-game player. He's a leader. Guys around the locker room like him. I did a piece last year where it was called The Best of Bucci, and I just went around the locker room talking to a number of the teammates and just real fond of him. Whether it come to fantasy football, he's a Russian player who comes into the room. You guys were talking about the Cardinals room having fantasy football. The Blues do too, and they said that Bucci would come in and he'd say, you guys are letting the Russian guy who knows nothing about football win your league. and so he just really fits in. But I think from a perspective of the Blues wanting to be competitive through this retool, it's great that you're bringing in the young players with Dvorsky and eventually Snuggerud and some other players, but you need guys like Pavel Buchnevich to get you through it. And I just think to keep him is a good move by Doug Armstrong.
So you get through the retool, and then he's got a few years left. He's getting up in age. Are you concerned at all about the back end of the deal?
Yeah, and I think that's the case with a lot of these contracts. All these deals are most of them are 8 years, and if they're not 8, they're 6 and 7. And I think when you're looking at contracts like that, most of those guys are 36, 37, somewhere in there. But Todd Diamond, the agent, said that with Doug Armstrong, he tends to take these contracts until about age 36, and that's why they did this deal. I did talk to Doug Armstrong a couple days ago about this, and I thought his answer was pretty interesting, Dan, where he said that, hey, look, we feel like Pavel Buchnevich has at least 4 great years left in him, and however the contract turns out, which it wound up to be 6 years, he said the last couple of years you just got to hope for the best with a couple of these guys, but it's the price of doing business.
Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider from The Athletic here on 101 ESPN. One more thing about Buchnevich. I thought it was interesting what his agent said about not wanting the extra 2 years to get the max contract. Can you relay that to us?
Yeah, he said that he wants to earn the money, and he doesn't want to just sit around and collect it. He said that Pavel Buchnevich is a guy who he doesn't operate like that. And I think, in an age where you look at a lot of professional athletes, and God bless them, nobody is second-guessing, why they take the money. It's a hard profession, and they go through a lot. But Pavel Buchnevich, I've kind of sensed that kind of personality from him over the years without even hearing that from somebody close to him like his agent, is that he just wants to work for it. He doesn't want anything given to him, and that's why he went for the 6 years.
We have the Blues prospects in town this week. Is there a player that you think that has stood out during camp that could make an impact this season for the Blues?
As far as this season, no. I think that you look at Dvorsky, and he's going to be given a chance in camp. Doug Armstrong has said that, and he's looked really, really good in this camp. So, if you're picking one, that's him. But I guess just development camp in July, it's a lot different than training camp in September when the big boys show up. So that's going to be something to watch when he gets to camp and see if he can hold down a roster spot. But, with multiple signings yesterday, even though these guys that they brought in are bottom 6 forwards, it's just kind of squeeze guys out. And Dvorsky is a guy who can go to the American Hockey League, even though he's just coming from junior hockey. So we'll see if he can stick on the roster. But he's done everything, I think, the past couple of days to show that he deserves a chance in September.
So outside of Buchnevich, the Blues sign or at least trade for a couple of different guys that have been around for a while. How do you think that impacts the Blues moving forward?
Yeah, Dan, I got blisters on my fingers from typing up all this stuff yesterday. The running joke in my family is oh, your poor fingers. You had to type a few articles yesterday. But, yeah, they did. They brought in Rocc Faksa. Everybody knows him from Dallas. Big body, 6'3", 215. He'll play center. He's going to be in your bottom 6. You make the trade for him with Dallas. And then also Matthew Joseph from Ottawa, another bottom 6 guy, likely a 4th liner. These guys came for future considerations. So Doug Armstrong did yesterday what he indicated he might be able to do in an article I wrote a few days ago, and that's that if teams are out there who want to move guys and get rid of the salary, the Blues have the cap room. They can bring in decent players. I don't think these guys are going to, be in the headlines every night, but they're depth players who've been in the league, who've contributed and can help. And then later in the day, they announced the free agent signing of defenseman Pierre-Olivier Joseph, who's Matthew's younger brother. So we got the Joseph brothers coming to St. Louis next year. No relation to, of course, Cujo, Curtis Joseph.
JR, before we let you go, any chance that the Blues negotiate an offer sheet with a young player? I know Pinto signed a 2-year deal with Ottawa, but there's still a couple of restricted free agents out there. With the Blues moves that they've made to this point, would you be surprised if they would negotiate an offer sheet with somebody?
A little bit surprised just because of the numbers, they brought in. You talk about Texier, too, so they brought in 3 forwards who are going to squeeze in there, and you still want to give guys like Dvorsky a chance. There's still the cap room to do that, Randy, would they bring in about $6 million yesterday with Boxa, maybe $7 million if you add the defenseman. So you're still sitting pretty in terms of under the cap. You have to have that cap room to make that offer sheet to a player. So, Martin Necas is a player that has been talked about in terms of an offer sheet with Carolina. I don't know that that'll happen. I'd be somewhat surprised if the Blues wound up going that route.
JR, what are you doing tomorrow? I know the weather's not going to be great, but if the weather was great, what would the Rutherford family be doing on the 4th of July?
I think we're going to be out at a friend's lake, Raintree. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that out in the Hillsborough area. So we'll probably be, if you see a bald guy floating in a lake out at Raintree, that's me.
I'll never forget the 4th of July where the Blues traded for Al McInnes and re-signed. They signed Scott Stevens to an offer sheet with Jersey. That was a busy 1994 4th of July. I remember it well.
I think I would be upset because that would mean I would have to come out of the lake and use these fingers and blister them up. But I do remember that when I wrote the book, 100 Things Blues Fans Should Know and Do Before They Die, I had to do some research on that trade. And I think the lead paragraph in the Post-Dispatch were, the Blues sure made some fireworks on the 4th of July.
Yes, they did. They kept us busy. Thank you, JR. Have a great 4th, and we'll talk to you next week.
All right, thanks, guys.
That is Jeremy Rutherford, our Blues insider from The Athletic on 101 ESPN. It used to be that was the start of free agency in the NHL, the 4th of July, and Ron Caron always said, 4th of July fireworks.
Yes.
He loved it.
And he usually had a lot.
Yeah.
He was wheeling and dealing all the time.
And then 94 was also the year that they wound up getting Mike Keenan as their new head coach.
Yeah.
So a lot was going on at that point.
I'm glad they moved it. I think it's good for the players, good for the
July
sport,
1st.
Give it more attention right before it.
Yep, really good. Coming up, we're going to head down the stretch with Rocc and Roll here on 101 ESPN. Plus, we're going to give away tickets. We've got tickets. I don't know if you know this group. Def Leppard and Journey are coming to town on Saturday, and you can win tickets for it now on 101 ESPN. So you got a new puppy in the house, and you don't want the puppy just running outside all by itself. You want to keep it within the perimeter of your yard. You need to get in touch with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. Chesterfield Fence and Deck has been around for 56 years. They put the fence in my backyard to keep our puppies in, and the fence has been fantastic. It looks like the day we got it. They told me it would be a lifetime product, and it is. Chesterfield Fence and Deck is so acclaimed. They received the Big 50 Award featured in Remodeling Magazine to honor the top 50 remodelers in the country, to recognize the industry's best and brightest. They do so much more than fences and decks. They do a fantastic job with sunrooms and screen rooms and pergolas. If you want a retaining wall, they'll do that for you as well. Just call Chesterfield Fence and Deck at 800-300-4054. Find them on the web at chesterfieldfence.com or stop by their facility in Chesterfield Valley and get a look at what they do. It really is amazing what they do, and they do it well. Therefore, they have an A+ rating from the Better Business Bureau. Tell them Randy sent you and get 48 months of interest-free financing on your next outdoor project with Chesterfield Fence and Deck. The sign you have the very best.
and roll.
Let's rock. Let's rock today.
Hey, 101 ESPN has your chance to score a pair of tickets to see Def Leppard and Journey with Cheap Trick Saturday at Busch Stadium. Tickets for Def Leppard, Journey, and Cheap Trick at Busch are on sale now, and you can get all the concert details at 101ESPN.com, or you can simply text into this program and get tickets right now by answering a magic question. All you have to do is text in 314-399-9646, 314-399-YO-HO. Answer the question correctly, and you will have a chance to win free tickets to the show. You have to be texter number 20. Texter number 20. And here's Matthew's question.
We talked a little bit about the Baby Bull, Orlando Cepeda, RIP, obviously, in the fight. We talked a little bit about the 67 Cardinals beating the Red Sox in that World Series. In that 1967 season that saw Orlando Cepeda win the MVP, he had 25 home runs and 111 RBIs. Who was the other Cardinal to cross the 20 home run mark? Who was the only other Cardinal to cross the 20 home run mark that season?
I like this question a lot.
All right, there you go.
I don't have any idea. But texter number 20 might be able to tell us.
There you
Number
go.
20, huh?
By the way, the
more than 20 home runs.
The poll, I'm just going to... Come on, Randy. The poll is live right now on X for our drafts right now. We getting some early votes. I need you guys to obviously boost up the Twitter, you and Brooke and Danny, because you guys all have the big followings that I just don't have. Brooke right now is currently leading by 1%. She has 32% of the vote. I have 31% of the vote. Randy has 26% of the vote. So I'm coming for you, Brooke. But unfortunately right now, Brooke's going to retweet it to her followers, and they're all going to very biasly all vote for her. I'm sure for probably $1.50 a vote because she's probably paying them to get her votes.
Why?
Would be my
What's
guess.
wrong with I think I made some good picks, and I think it's fair. It sounds like you're a wee
pay
bit
people
jealous.
for votes?
No,
Oh, okay.
it sounds like you're a wee bit jealous.
Jay for jealous.
You can go there and you can retweet that, and so we can get the votes going there. The poll will be open until the end of the 4th of July, and you can rehear the draft be replayed tomorrow in our best of show.
Oh, good deal.
Nice.
Hey, do you guys know who the Cardinal reliever was prior to Ryan Helsley, the only other guy to have 30 or more saves for the Cardinals before the All-Star break?
Well, Lee Smith.
Lee Arthur Smith.
Oh, yeah, you're right.
Yeah, took a lot of naps.
And then prior to that, I think he had 28 before the All-Star break was Trevor Rosenthal.
Rosie.
Yes.
So pretty good.
Yeah.
Lee Arthur was an underrated Cardinal.
Why do we do that for the
Big
trivia
time.
question?
That would have been a good
Why did we do
trivia
that for the trivia question?
Because I asked you if you had one.
Yeah, but that one was better.
Oh, well, no, we needed texture number 20.
Randy basically is giving you the answer if you look into what he's saying. What?
Don't tell him.
There's plenty
Little
of
clues.
Don't tell him.
There's plenty of people
no
calling,
one's
texting in
no
with the
one's
right
guessed
one.
it yet. We definitely don't have a winner yet. You should keep texting in. We definitely don't have the winner yet.
I think we might.
So you guys talked in the opening segment about Bronny James's press conference.
Yeah,
being announced.
we didn't give him anything.
I know. I just wanted to play one little piece of audio just because you gotta media train, and media training is usually pretty easy when you're getting like the one question you expect to get. So maybe just have a slightly better answer than.
I never really had a thought of me going to play with my dad, but that's always there to take part of. But that wasn't the main focus I wanted to do.
He never had the thought of going and play with his dad. That's not why he left college after scoring 4 points per game or anything.
It was just shocking that he was selected by the Lakers.
We couldn't believe it.
Just address the elephant in the room. I don't think that anybody is going to be upset with you if you admit, yeah, of course I have thought about playing with my dad. LeBron has even said, of course, that he's dreamed of playing with Bronny.
Yeah, I mean, you come on to say, of course I wanted to play with my dad, and this is a way to do it, and I'm thrilled.
So
exactly.
I wish I would have been there because I would have said, so when on January 6th, your dad said, Bronny could play for us right now, you didn't think, oh, I would get to play with my dad.
Makes sense. Of course he thought about it.
Come on,
Are we
Bronny.
really, it is kind of gotten some traction here, too.
Yes.
Amongst social media and national pundits about the answer that Rocc just played.
Yeah.
People aren't happy with it.
Because I think you should just be honest about it.
That's the thing is, like, at no point, because listen, there is nepotism in sports. Everyone's pointed this out. There's a lot of nepotism in sports. But I don't think at any point that Jerry Jones just goes, I mean, Steven, we looked at a lot of different applicants for the GM position, and Steven he had better qualifications. We thought when we were looking at Steven Jones's resume, he was the best, most qualified person for the job. I don't even think Jerry Jones has a lack of scruples to actually try to, like, wink, nod that when it's like, yeah, Jerry, it's your son. You love football. He gets the job.
There you go.
Just it's nepotism. It's pretty obvious. I mean, I even love Joe Buck. You know, he got inducted into a Broadcasting Hall of Fame over the week, and he even made a joke about him being one of the huge nepo baby, and so just accept the fact. I'm not mad about it, but don't pee down my back and tell me it's raining, essentially.
Yeah, just acknowledge
that's the quality. They just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me when I know the truth is directly in front of me. I could have just said gaslighting. I think that's why they use the term gaslighting, so people don't have to use that phrase anymore.
What if there's a video of that?
No, Randy.
Why don't you give the answer to the trivia question?
Lou Brock, number 20.
Yeah.
He hit 21 home runs. He also stole 52 bags for the 6'7" Cardinals.
Pretty good, a 2050 guy.
Yeah, how about that?
We've got a balloon party with T-Mac and Ajax coming up. And then we've got the folks over at Centene Community Ice Center, BK Ferrario and Tanner, followed by the Fast Lane from 2 to 6 this afternoon. I don't know if any of those guys are on vacation during this 4th of July week. But do anybody know? Anybody got any idea?
No, I have no idea. I assume that they're all here.
Well, that's the point of tuning in. You're going to find out.
It's a secret.
Yep. And you can follow all of us on Twitter to vote in the draft. We had our fabulous, unprecedented, well, not really unprecedented,
every year.
Opening drive. Okay, we do it every year. 4th of July barbecue draft. I picked ribs, pasta salad, homemade brownies, and a brat. Brooke picked a cheeseburger, homemade ice cream, mac and cheese, and wings. Dan picked pork steaks, Randy's carrot cake, shrimp from Annie Gunn's, and a loaded baked potato. And Matthew picked brisket, cookie cake a la mode, that would be with ice cream, baked beans, and a hot dog. We thank you.
Thank you for the clarification.
To our fabulous producer, audio, video engineer, the one, the only Matthew Rocchio. Happy 4th, sir.
Happy 4th. Pleasure.
Thank you. Brooke, did you have fun today?
Yes,
You going to have fun for the next 4 days?
Oh, yes, I will.
Long weekend for Brooke. Have a happy birthday.
Thank you so much.
Have a great birthday. Happy birthday.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Dan, you're rock and roll, man.
Oh, no. You're the best. And as I like to say, pleasure.
And pleasure's all mine. We thank you for tuning in, texting in, and being a part of the show. For all of us, until next Monday morning at 7, have a great hump day. Have a great Friday. And don't just have a great weekend. Have an American weekend.